just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating.
What's good? Yo! Freedom!
Freedom.
Let's go! Yeah, the tank shit is weird. You depend, so you always will. If you arrest yourself again, I help you clean up the mess. Misdirection, you know I'm through with you. Your hoops are my obsessions, always jumping through.
I'm so
I'm just caught up in my reflection. Pay attention. Let's go. You never will. Dude, how we doing? Let's go, Brian. Chilling, dude. Try to get to know myself. Not worthy. Pay attention. Yeah, you never will. So you always will. Gotta be at work at 4 a.m. Oh shit! Did like I did. I wonder if you ever did. Yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. Dude, let's go. It's a fucking midnight energy drink bottle bed. Let's go, baby. Dude, Sean got the job. Let's go, Sean. Dude, let's go. We'll do a goal. Just wanna be free. Yeah. Free. Yeah. There we go. The goal has been set. 10 away to dance for Sean. Yo. Dude, yeah, I know. I know we got a real sack of crap for a president, dude. Dude, ball bad, let's go, baby. Dude, I know the president sucks, dude. He does, dude. Trump is fucking dog shit. And dude, what's crazy about it, guys, is literally like, what is going on with Trump and being like the fucking, you know what I mean? What is going on with Trump literally being Putin's guy? Oh, thank you, my love. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trump is so obviously doing Putin's bidding. I mean, it's just unfucking believable, right? Like, the concept, okay? The concept of ceding territory to an invading force, right? I mean, think about that. If Mexico attacks us, we're just gonna give them Texas? No. Why would you? Right? Yeah, dude. And the fact that MAGA are like in line with that, like, oh yeah, well, because they hate, I think MAGA likes Vladimir Putin, right? They do, because Trump likes Putin. They hate Europe. Europe is like good to trans people, and they take in immigrants, and they have socialism, right? MAGA hates Europe. European people fucking speak the languages and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, that shit is nuts, bro. Dude, shit is insane. Mr. Moj, let's go, baby. Dude, isn't it crazy? I mean, think about this, guys. MAGA supports Vladimir Putin over Europe, right? Because Trump says Putin is a way cool guy. Tucker Carlson is always talking about how great Russia is. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but this is something that, you know, speaking of Jillian Michaels, who I made a video today about her, like an addendum to the video today, because she replied again, sort of. You'll have to watch the video. But the white supremacists like 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗹𝗀 that hang out on Jillian Michaels' show, they use Russia too, right? They show like Russian malls or Polish malls. And because they have very strict immigration policies there and everybody's white. So the white supremacists use Russia and Poland as an example of like a society without people of color. I mean, dude, it's so fucked up. It is like we're living in the upside down. You know what I mean? We are literally living in the upside down where MAGA, like Trump could come out tomorrow being pro-Hitler and MAGA would be like, you know, he ain't so bad. Right? Oh yeah, I know he did that, had those camps and stuff, but other than that, he was, you know what I mean? Like, bro. But that question from Steve Ducey about you ready to redraw the maps or whatever, like, dude, what are we doing? Yeah, no, we are gonna look at Bill Barr, okay? Because Bill Barr, there's like a little testimony from him today or whatever. He did a deposition or some shit, but Bill Barr's dad is inextricably linked to Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, dude, this shit goes deep, guys. Think about this, okay? Think about who was in Donald Trump's orbit, right? Alex Acosta was the labor secretary. Bill Barr became his attorney general. Bill Barr's dad, Donald Barr, was the headmaster of the Dalton school when Jeffrey Epstein got a job there as a teacher with no credentials. Epstein had no college education. He didn't have teaching credentials. His brother, his dad, Bill Barr's dad, Donald Barr, was the headmaster of the Dalton school when Epstein worked there. You ready to look into this shit? This shit is crazy, guys. It is crazy. Let's just get right in, shall we? Dude, we are literally living in the upside down, guys. You know what I mean? All right. So now they're probing Bill Barr. Let's see what we got here. All right. Yeah. I guess we'll watch this. We'll watch this one right here. All right. Bill Barr on Capitol Hill for deposition. Epstein case. This will get us started. Get us warmed up. You guys ready? Dude, the Bill Barr shit is wild, dude. It is wild. It's wild because this shit just goes like way deeper than I think anybody even realizes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the depth of this stuff is too crazy. He looks like the kid from A Christmas Story. Yeah, no, we are going to look at that too, Natalie. We probing Bill Barr. Hey, Bill, bend over, buddy. We're gonna stick our probe inside you real quick, Billy Barr. We're gonna. Oh, whoops. All right. So we're gonna look at that too, about the Melania and Michael Wolff and the whole Epstein sex thing. Dude, Melania she's deeply entangled. Okay, she is. There's no reason she overreacts, right? There's no reason she would overreact the way she did with Hunter Biden, with that whole $1 billion nonsense, if she wasn't deeply connected. And yeah, no, the book is pretty weird. Like, Bill Barr's dad did write a book. I don't know a lot about it, but he wrote a book that was like about sex, like child sex slaves or some shit in an outer space colony. It's pretty wild. But yeah, we're going to start with this video. We're going to get cooking here.
Let me assure you that this case will continue on against anyone who was complicit with Epstein. Any co-conspirators should not rest easy. The victims deserve justice, and they will get it.
That was former Attorney General Bill Barr in 2019, 2 days after convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his jail cell.
Now, by the way, we should note that Bill Barr didn't do shit about investigating this, okay? Isn't it weird, though, guys? Just think about this, guys. The FBI had investigated Epstein, okay? They had, early on, way back in 2007. I want to throw a timeline on you guys before we listen to this because you have to understand the timeline here. Epstein gets busted in 2005, okay? The cops who build the case are like, why are they not charging him? So they call up the FBI. The FBI strolls in, does an investigation. All right, 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗏 the U.S. attorney down there. They cut the sweetheart deal with 𝗫𝗍𝗪, who was the state attorney in the county where Palm Beach is. Epstein is free. He gets off, okay? Immunity. All his co-conspirators get immunity. Now, years later, Julie K. Brown and the Miami Herald dig this up. After Me Too, they bring it back in the limelight. They break the immunity deal. They arrest Epstein, and they fucking are getting ready to charge him. Okay, now, in that interim, 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗏 got discovered that he made the sweetheart deal, and he was forced out, but he was Trump's labor secretary. The guy who let Epstein off was Trump's cabinet labor secretary. Then there was a Comey-Trump battle, okay? Then Comey leaves, and they have the right, they replace him with Christopher Wray, and then there's the battle in the DOJ, and eventually Bill Barr becomes the head of the DOJ, the attorney general. But now Bill Barr's dad is the guy who initially hired Epstein at the Dalton school. So Trump's labor secretary was the guy who let him off, and his AG was the son of the guy who is basically opened the door to Epstein's high-class connections, because that's how Epstein got into that world, was through the Dalton school, where he was connected to all these like rich parents, right? So, dude, that's freaky. That is freaky. That why would Trump have multiple people in his cabinet that were all about the protection of, or the curating of Epstein? And then Barr doesn't do anything. Epstein ends up dead. Barr sits on it for 2 years. Only after Biden gets in there do they actually charge Ghislaine Maxwell and go to trial. I mean, this is so dirty, guys. Some of this makes me think that part of getting Trump into the presidency was to try to make this shit disappear. And that while Biden was in office, they were really worried that Biden's FBI was going to out this shit and turn it all on them. And for whatever reason, Merrick Garland stuffed it. They didn't focus on this at all. It feels like deep, like high level. And you may have noticed there was that other sting operation in Nevada, I believe, right? No, it's, sorry. It was this, okay? There was an Israeli government official arrested in Nevada, okay? In a sting, a child fucking sex sting, okay? It's this guy, 𝗤𝗏 Alexandrovich, okay? Right? He was arrested. They did a sting, a cyber sting about people that were sexually preying on children. And this guy, one of Netanyahu's people, an Israeli government official, got arrested. They fucking released him. And he got sent back to fucking Israel, bro. What the fuck is going on, dude? What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Why? Why is this going on, bro? Dude, this shit is crazy. All right, we're getting in.
Barr was right about one thing. Case continues on. Today, he's the one answering questions. Barr called to Capitol Hill for a deposition by the House Oversight Committee, set to speak under oath this morning about what he knows about Epstein's death and the files long shrouded in secrecy. Joining us now, NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗀 and former federal prosecutor 𝗙𝗪𝗿𝗀𝗧𝗏, a senior writer for Politico magazine. 𝗙cie, first to you, it's all happening behind closed doors today. That's typically how these kinds of deposition goes. But any sense from sources of what's come of this so far?
Well, Ali, we believe William Barr is still in there, and he arrived a little bit before his official start time of 9:30. We don't know exactly what they're saying, of course, but I just got off the phone with a source familiar with his deposition who said in the room are Democratic and Republican committee staff, as well as 3 lawmakers, the Democrats Jasmine Crockett and 𝗙ecie 𝗶𝗶𝗏, who are on the committee, and, of course, the Republican chairman James Comer. Now, before this began, Comer was asked about the bigger subpoena, the deadline that's landing tomorrow for the Justice Department and AG Pam Bondi to release a whole bunch of documents regarding the Epstein matter.
Oh, it's crazy. Jasmine Crockett is in there.
Take a listen to what Comer said about that.
We're having really good conversations. You have to understand how many, you can imagine how many documents there are. I think that we're going to have I think we'll receive the documents very soon. They're compiling everything together. I think we're working together in a good faith effort, and everything's coming along. I expect to receive the documents very, very soon.
A little bit of daylight there, Ali, on exact timing, but he does expect to still receive the documents. And finally, I'm told by this source that the transcript of these interviews can be released by Republicans under the rules of the committee after they consult with Democrats.
Can be released. Unclear that they will do that, but certainly something new to ask about. Ankush, what relevant...
Yeah, see, that's good to know that it is legal for them to release the transcript of that Barr interview. Whether they will do it or not will remain to be seen, but at least if they don't, we can press for it, right? We can press for it.
Information might Barr actually share here?
You know, I don't think Barr has much to offer this particular investigation, right? And he was the attorney general during the arrest, and then when Epstein passed away, committed suicide. So, I mean, what is he going to be able to talk about at the high level, the charging decision, perhaps, and what sort of investigation followed after Epstein's death? But it's very limited. I mean, honestly, you know, if you look at the investigation that Comer is overseeing and the list of people he's chosen to question, it's almost entirely backwards. But the investigation is almost entirely backwards.
It's missing one of the most important names in Alex Acosta.
It's missing a bunch of other people, too, though. Yeah, that's a very good point, right?
Dude,
the
look
U.S.
at this.
attorney who negotiated.
Look at this, dude. So these are the people, the depositions in this. We have Barr, Alberto Gonzales, Jeff Sessions, Robert Mueller, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, Merrick Garland, James Comey, and then Hillary and Bill Clinton. But where is Alex Acosta, right? Why is he not on here? He absolutely should be on here. And I mean, dude, there's a whole bunch of people that they could be talking to. They could be subpoenaing and talking to some of the victims, right? They could be talking to the attorneys for the victims. I mean, bro, they could be talking to Barry Krischer, the original prosecuting state's attorney down in Palm Beach. They could talk to some of the police that worked on this from Palm Beach. I mean, I don't know. This is really weird. Some of these people it's like really fucking strange. Some of these names on there that, you know what I mean? This is a very strange list because I'm like, are they trying to get to the bottom of the Epstein thing, or are they trying to follow and see who knows what as far as everybody who may have seen this shit, right? You know what I mean? I mean, doesn't it seem like they're literally trying to talk to everybody in the FBI or the Department of Justice that was anywhere in proximity to Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, or the ones that were during Trump's administration in the FBI and the FBI and the fucking, Department of Justice? Dude, something is going on. And then they're ending it with Hillary and Bill Clinton, which is obviously, we know that whatever comes out, they're going to try and blame it all on Bill. Yeah, dude, something is going on. But again, though, guys, this doesn't matter because they can try what they want. They can try to cover it up as much as they want. But every investigative reporter in America and many, many content creators like me are doing nothing but following this case. And you can bet that those Miami Herald reporters, Julie K. Brown, they're all still deeply in it. Okay. The victims are going to start speaking up with Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie. So, I mean, shit's coming out. Regardless, there's going to be no way to stop this freight train. Let me just tell you.
Negotiated the non-prosecution deal. Alex Acosta, absolutely want to talk to him. But, there are two issues, I think, on Americans' minds at this particular moment. One is what was the review that Pam Bondi and 𝗏𝗏 Patel conducted, and what did it actually generate? And two, and this is in poll numbers, what is Trump's involvement and what are the references to him in the documents? Yeah. If you are going to answer those questions, the people you want to speak to, in no particular order, are Trump, Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director 𝗏𝗏 Patel, Deputy Director Dan Bongino, and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. These are the people you would actually be speaking to, putting under oath, maybe even televising that question in order to give the American public the answers that I think that they really want at this point in time.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. They're talking to everybody from Biden's team, and they had Lynch in there too, right? But they're not talking to anyone right now handling this shit. Like, dude, this is crazy.
You referenced the report that DOJ did, which really, frankly, touched off a lot of this here. They found, in their words, no incriminating client list, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, and they concluded Epstein died by suicide as first reported. By moving forward with the investigation here, is the House committee effectively saying, thank you so much for that, we don't buy it?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think that there's been so much flailing around, to be honest, on the part of the Justice Department, going to get these more or less useless grand jury transcripts, which they're failing to do, but the judges are saying they're useless, trying to negotiate something with Ghislaine Maxwell, one of the world's worst people on the planet. And then you have Comer and the House Republicans, I think, kind of trying to run interference a little bit, perhaps on the White House's behalf. And all of these things provide the appearance of an investigation or some forward momentum. But
that's an interesting thing that he says that they're purposely essentially talking to everybody outside the actual core of what's happening right now so they can then, we investigated it. And yeah, it looks like everything's cool, copacetic, time to wrap up. But so the thing is the thing about talking to Patel and Bongino and Pam Bondi would be to force them under oath in maybe a public environment to give their stories of Trump's involvement and what they've seen in the files and see if their shit matches up and see if somebody leaks something or if somebody looks like they're hiding something. I feel like there'd be a lot because ultimately, guys, dude, Wesley, let's go, baby. Oh, let's go. Dude, I do have a Hole poster on the wall. Dude, I love Hole, one of my favorite bands of all time. Thank you, boss. Thank you. Elon, get shit on, boss. Dude, we're going to give you a Trumpy too. Dude, because at the end of this, guys, just remember this. Remember that this stuff sat under Bill Barr and Trump and they didn't do anything. It went to Biden's DOJ and they prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell. And then it just sat dormant because she was appealing it. So none of that information was coming out during her appeal. But now those guys, 𝗏𝗏, Bongino, Pam Bondi, Trump, they all said they were going to release this until they get in there. They have 1,000 FBI agents find every instance of Trump. And then all of a sudden, game over. Nope. They're what Epstein? Epstein's a hoax. He doesn't even exist. Obama wrote it. Right? So something happened, dude. Patel and 𝗏𝗏 Patel and Bongino and Bondi, something happened that spooked them all to the point of sending the National Guard into Washington, D.C., guys. You know what I mean? There's tanks driving around Washington, D.C. right now because of whatever they found back in May. Something is fucking dirty, dirty, dirty. Something is so rotten in Denmark that the neighbors are like, what is that fucking smell, bro?
It's really an illusion because they're not actually addressing the questions that are on Americans' minds at this moment.
Yeah, I think, and Sahil, we bring up Ghislaine Maxwell here. She's someone that the House committees have said maybe they want to hear from. The Speaker of the House has been one of the first and loudest voices saying, I don't really believe her. She has credibility problems. But it does speak to the fact that this is really just round one of some extremely high-profile depositions ahead in the House investigation. What actually comes next here? And can you talk about the balancing act that, frankly, Republicans on this committee are doing as they try to show that they're doing something, but really they're not pushing for the central thing, which is just release the files?
Absolutely, Ali. So there's William Barr today. There's the DOJ and Pam Bondi subpoena for a whole bunch of information tomorrow. Then later in August, we're expecting subpoenas for depositions and document requests from former AGs Alberto Gonzalez and Jeff Sessions. Remember, this goes all the way back to 2006 when Jeffrey Epstein was first indicted. In September and October, they've asked former AGs Lynch, Holder, Garland, as well as former FBI directors Robert Mueller and James Comey.
See, that's what is fucking wild about this, guys, because it sounds to me like they're trying to go all the way back to the very first FBI investigation and find out who knows what, who saw what. And right, I mean, this reeks of fucking cover up. It reeks of like, let's find out everything in everyone in the system who's aware of this shit from the beginning. And then you wonder, are some of these people going to start like falling out of the windows and shit like that? You know what I mean? I mean, if Robert Mueller falls from the 20th story of the fucking Bonaventure Hotel while on vacation, we're going to be like, oh shit, bro, here we go, bro. You know what I mean? Here we go, dude.
Testify, and finally, Hillary and Bill Clinton. Now, it's not clear whether all of these meetings will actually happen or whether the dates will get moved around. But this was the chairman's request before Congress left town. Remember, he was essentially forced to do this by committee members, several Republicans who teamed up with Democrats and said, yes, we want the Epstein files. We're not simply going to let the Trump administration skate on this. And at the before issuing these subpoenas, or rather while issuing these subpoenas, Comer added on a whole bunch of names, including some like Bill and Hillary Clinton, who have been, let's say, highly interesting to the MAGA audience.
Yeah. Interesting to the MAGA audience and potentially a way for Republicans on that committee to say, see, look, we're voting for transparency, but we're doing it by going after Democrats, even though it puts them crosswise with the White House and with the president, which are the very people that pushed this conspiracy and kept it alive over all of these years in the first place. But as demand grows for unsealing the grand jury testimony in the Epstein files, that's one of the other pieces of this. 𝗙𝗪𝗓, you've said that these transcripts likely represent just a sliver of the information that the government actually has in its possession. Why?
Because when federal prosecutors charge cases through grand juries, they typically present one or two witnesses who are agents who have overseen and conducted the investigation to summarize the allegations and the evidence in the indictment, and that they intend to produce a trial. So what that means is you're not going to put much more information into a grand jury than you actually see at the trial. And in fact, a judge in New York recently confirmed this, issuing an opinion on the DOJ's, and they've gone to multiple judges, but the most recent judge in New York issued an opinion, it was actually a fairly scathing opinion, actually, saying that the Justice Department had effectively misled the public by suggesting that the grand jury transcripts that this judge had available to him would tell them anything meaningful. And the judge over and over and over again says, this is not true, this is an illusion, and there's no there. I think that's a quote from the opinion.
All right. So yeah, dude, this shit is so dirty, bro. This shit is so dirty. Let's see what we have. I want actually some information on Barr. I want to see the what we got on, like, what we know from this fucking scenario. And then we're going to look at the Dalton school, right? Dude, is Bongino resigning? Is that true? Or yeah, again, dude, now they like Bill Barr. Dude, yeah, there's my tweet under Benny Johnson's, right? Because now all the right-wingers were like, Barr said Trump did nothing. And I was like, Barr's dad was the headmaster who hired Epstein, right? And, sorry, unreliable witness, Benny, but we do know you love protecting rapists, right? Benny loves those Look at them. They're all fucking mad. Oh, you're so pathetic. Dude. Oh, shit. Dude, everybody is like, all the MAGA shitheads get in on me. Dude, let's go, baby. Dude, Scorpion Kingdom, let's go. Dude, what currency is that, boss? What is that kroners? Right? What fucking currency is that? Dude, SEK? I love it. Let's go. Swedish? All right. Is that the kroner? Is that the kroner? Right? Is that what it's called? The kroner. Kroner. Right? Is that it? Yeah, let's go. Dude, thank you, boss. Appreciate you. Let's go, boss. Yeah, the kroners. Let's go. Dude, we're going to give you a couple, like, Elon pound sand up his ass. All right, there we go. Fuck you, Elon. Right? But yeah, so now let's see what we can find here. All right, here we go. Let's see. I want to find some actual fucking, let's go, baby. One more. Oh, shit, out. Dude, I want to see if we have some, I know we're not going to have any video of the actual testimony itself, right? So we may just have the paper, all right? But here's what it says. It says former Attorney General Bill Barr. I wonder where he got this. Where is this from? Where was the article in? What article is this? Right? Hold on. Do we have a WAPO or a New York Times? So I guess that was 9 hours ago. All right. We may just have to fucking feed it together on fucking Twitter. We may have to piece it together. But all right, it says former Attorney General Bill Barr told House investigators on Monday that he never saw anything that could tie President Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein's sordid crimes. Oversight Committee Chair James Comer said. He said that he had never seen anything that would implicate President Trump in any of this, and that he believed if there had been anything pertaining to President Trump with respect to the Epstein list, that he felt like the Biden administration would probably have leaked it out. Comer told reporters partway through Barr's testimony. The ex-Trump administration official is the first person to appear in the Oversight Committee's probe. Now, again, this is the narrative they're running with, right? Trump can't be in there because Biden and all those people would have already released it. Okay. But clearly, whoever is covering this up is like deep. All right. It feels like it's about the FBI. Maybe it's about the intelligence. We don't know who it's about. But running on that assumption, oh, he would have leaked it. That's not true. Okay. That doesn't mean anything, especially if Trump is just one of a bunch of them. Okay. Now, the other thing, though, is we do have to look at who Bill Barr is, because Bill Barr is the guy who's now testifying on Trump's behalf, saying, you know what? I've never seen anything. Trump is like squeaky clean. And in fact, you know, they would have released it. But look at this. Bill Barr has some history.
A second federal judge has just ruled that Bill Barr and the Trump-era Justice Department were also disingenuous with the court. They, in effect, lied to the court when they told her and they told the public a made-up story, a lie, about why former President Donald Trump was not put on trial, was not charged with obstruction of justice on the basis of the evidence that was collected against President Trump in Mueller's investigation. You might remember Mueller's report started with Volume 1, that was about what Russia did to interfere in the election. And then Volume 2, you probably remember, it laid out more than 10 instances in great detail of potentially criminal obstruction of justice committed by then President Trump.
So this is not directly related to the Epstein case, but what this is, though, is this is an example of Barr already lying for Trump. In the Mueller investigation, they found obstruction by Trump, okay, related to the Mueller investigation and while investigating his participation with Russia. And they had the evidence of this obstruction, and then they lied and said, oh, we don't have any evidence of this obstruction. And now that's coming out that they lied. So Barr has lied for Trump before. And now simultaneously, while Trump always talks about the Russia, whatever hoax, we see Trump's fealty to Russia. It's pretty obvious. I mean, he's trying to give part of Ukraine to Russia, even though Russia invaded it. He's taking Russia's side over Europe, Russia's side over Ukraine, right? You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, there is a Russian connection here. And I don't know if there's a Russian connection with Epstein himself or if there is a Russian connection with the money. I mean, mind you, whatever Trump was doing with money laundering with 𝗙𝗏𝗏 and those oligarchs when he bought that property down in Palm Beach, Epstein had figured that out too. He had figured out that, that's really weird. Like Trump just bought this house. Trump doesn't have $40 million, right? He got the money from a Russian oligarch, bought the house, and then he fucking sold it back to the Russian oligarch for, 2.5 times what the guy paid for 2 years later. Okay. So there's some shady like money laundering and shit going on here too that Epstein was privy to. Now, here's where we have to look into like who Bill Barr is though. All right. Because check this out. Okay. All right. We're going to look at an article here. All right. Let me find it. I believe it is this one. All right. Yeah. Look at this. This is Epstein. Okay. This is Epstein in 1975. Look at him. Dude, what in the welcome back, Cotter? Dude. Oh my God, bro. Dude, it's Vinnie Barbarino. Fuck, dude. Dude, you guys ever watch Welcome Back, Cotter? Remember Vinnie Barbarino, Travolta's character? Oh my God. Dude, this is so crazy. It is, dude, it looks like he's spelling his name weird too. But this is Jeffrey Epstein, math and science. So yeah, we're going to read this. Okay. We're going to read this article real quick. I think it's relevant. All right. Jeffrey Epstein taught at Dalton. His behavior was noticed. Now, let me just take you through here. For those of you who don't know, the Dalton School, guys, if you look at the Dalton School, all right, this is, let me find the Wikipedia for it. The Dalton School is a college prep school in New York City. It is on the Upper East Side, right across from Central Park. Look at this shit. $70,000 a year, guys. $70,000. It is one of the most elite private schools in the area. Okay, $70,000 a year. And so the people that are the parents that are going to this school are the wealthiest of the wealthy, guys. We are talking about the upper crust. All right. This is in the 70s, right? The Dalton School used to be all boys. I don't know when it was all boys, right? I don't know where you're getting at, that it was all boys, right? Because it was not. Girls went there when Epstein was there. And as you can see, the graduates, right? Claire Danes, Rachel Covey, right? There is in Dead Poet Society, I believe they called the school they're in, that's all boys, the Dalton School, right? So I don't know if you're thinking about that, but this is co-ed, right? It may way back when in fucking 1900s may have been boys only. Oh, 1966. All right, became co-ed. But yeah, Dead Poet Society was like not about this school, but I think they used that same name. Co-ed in 66. All right. But yeah, but it was definitely co-ed when Epstein was there. But wait till you get into this, guys, because it gets weird. Okay, it gets weird. But this, though, was how Jeffrey Epstein got into the world of these wealthy people, okay? And well, Johnny, it's $70K now. It wasn't $70K in 1975. It's $70K now, right? I don't know what it was in 75, but right now it's $67,000, okay? Not in 75. All right, so you ready, though? Here we go. Jeffrey Epstein taught at Dalton. His behavior was noticed. Some students at the esteemed Manhattan prep school recall that Mr. Epstein, now charged with sex trafficking, was willing to violate norms in his encounters with girls. Now, he got let go, guys. He got let go because of his behavior with women, okay? And yes, the people who go to this school are like the richest of the rich. All right, in the mid-1970s, students at one of New York's most esteemed prep schools were surprised to encounter a new teacher who pushed the limits on the school's strict dress code, wandering the halls in a fur coat, gold chains, and an open shirt that exposed his chest. The teacher, Jeffrey Epstein, would decades later face allegations that he coerced and trafficked teenagers for sex. At the Dalton School on the Upper East Side, some students saw Mr. Epstein as an unusual and unsettling figure willing to violate the norms in his encounters with girls. 8 former students who attended the prestigious school during Epstein's short tenure said that his conduct with teenage girls had left an impression that had lingered for decades. One former student recalled him showing up at a party where students were drinking, while most remembered his persistent attention on the girls in hallways and classrooms. I can remember thinking at the time, this is wrong, said Scott Spicer, who graduated in 76. None of the female students who spoke to the New York Times in recent days remembered Epstein making unwanted physical contact with them, and he has not been accused of any crimes related to his time at the school. But a few students said they had been discomfited by a close relationship he had with one of their female peers, a concern that had escalated so much that one of them had raised the issue then to a school administrator. Now, again, guys, you know who the headmaster of this school was? Donald Barr, Bill Barr's daddy, okay? That's where it gets so weird, all right? Dalton has long been known for its rigorous academics, okay, among the best private schools, while drawing the sons and daughters of New York's titans of finance, media, and art, okay? Mr. Epstein's time at Dalton was brief, and an administrator said it ended in a dismissal. While Mr. Epstein later developed a reputation in the world of finance as a man of brilliance, he was a Brooklyn guy with a motor for a brain, New York Magazine wrote in 2002. The administrator told the Times that he had dismissed Epstein for poor performance. And this is what's crazy, guys, is this is one of the most prestigious private college prep schools in the country, and Epstein didn't even have a teaching certificate, guys. He had no postgraduate degree. He didn't have a teaching certificate, and yet he got hired to teach in one of the most prestigious private schools in the country. How does that work? Right? Right? That's fucked up. Dude, what are they doing? What are these rich fuckers doing, bro? But the accounts offer a window into Mr. Epstein's early adulthood before he developed extensive private wealth that allowed him to acquire a $56 million mansion just a mile south of the Dalton School. It was there, prosecutors said this week, that Epstein and his employees paid numerous underage girls to engage in sex acts. That's the mansion he got from Leslie Wexner. Okay, federal prosecutors, yada, 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 they're charging him. Okay, there he is. Look at him. This is him in 76, bro. Oh, shit. Dude, what a con this guy is, bro. Holy shit, dude. Dude, so creepy. I can't get over the welcome back Cotter hair, dude. All right. So it says officials with the Dalton School did not respond to requests for comment, but news of the charges led the alumni to reconnect and swap memories of a young teacher who sometimes seemed to defy the expectations of behavior for an authority figure. And there he is, looking fucking Gabe Kaplan, fucking John Travolta. Holy shit, dude. The 70s were wild, man. Can you say perm? You can. I had a perm, guys. I did. I had a perm in like, I got one in, I want to say 5th grade, and then I got one again in 9th grade. All right. I had a perm twice, dude. I did. It was not my fucking craziest times, but dude, I looked pretty good in it. I did. All right. A school in turmoil. You ready? Like much of the rest of the country, the Dalton school in the 70s was in the midst of a culture war. The school, which had been a progressive haven for the children of artists and writers, was undergoing a shift under the new headmaster, Donald Barr, the father of Attorney General William Barr. That's Billy Barr, who today, right? All right, so Donald Barr came in as a disciplinarian focused on beefing up the academics of the school and on enforcing a strict code of conduct. So it used to be progressive. It used to be like Columbia or Antioch or whatever. It was, Evergreen. It was kind of had those vibes. Donald Barr came in and is like, we're going to strict this thing up. In a school known for creativity, administrators had prohibited denim jeans and bizarre and eccentric costumes. If Mr. Barr caught students using marijuana, he would send them to therapy as a condition of staying in school. He himself described his leadership style as 𝗣𝗢𝗽𝗪, using the Imperial Russian term for an edict from the Tsar. Staff members would sometimes turn students away from their morning classes, girls for skirts that were too short, and boys for hair that was too long. Some students and parents balked at the constraints. Still, the school continued to draw families of fame. Around the years of Epstein's tenure, records show the student roster included Prudence Murdoch, that's Rupert Murdoch's daughter, fashion designer Jill Stewart, and several future actresses, Jennifer Grey, Tracy Pollan, and Maggie Wheeler. While Mr. Barr was strict on school culture, he made it a point to hire teachers from unconventional backgrounds. Dude, Cedric, let's go, baby. Appreciate you, boss. All right, that's 4 to 10, baby. We're almost there. We got, what do we got? We got, oh shit, timer ended. We missed it. All right, we'll get it next time. Appreciate you, boss. Let's get a fucking quickie on. There we go. All right. But this is it right here. While Barr was strict on school culture, he made it a point to hire teachers from unconventional backgrounds. Recalled Susan Semmel, a social studies teacher at Dalton from the 60s to 80s, who later wrote a book. Barr didn't care about credentials as long as you were interesting and knew your stuff. Yeah, that did seem fast. I thought it was an hour, dude. I must have done it on 30 minutes. Here, we'll try another one. Let me reset it, guys, because I think I screwed it up. I think I only went 30 minutes. We'll do 1 hour. Dance party. We got to dance for our job getter. All right, there we go. Let's go. There it is. There's the goal. 59 minutes. We got this. All right. So, in February of 1974, Barr had announced he was resigning as headmaster, protesting the meddling by the Board of Trustees, but that he would stay on until the end of the school year. It is unclear whether Mr. Barr hired Mr. Epstein during that time. So this is crazy. So Epstein, like Barr announced he was resigning, and then Epstein got hired. Okay? So it was like Barr left and Epstein was in there. Okay? Dude, long ears. Let's go, baby. Power to the perm, dude. Dude, you guys want to see a picture? I hear you talking about this. Hold on. Let me find you a picture of me with the perm. Hold on. I think I got it. I think I got one here. You ready? Here it is. There it is. There's the 9th grade one. That was me in 9th grade. That was my 9th grade perm. There it is. Oh shit. Dude, I had my little fucking little preppy thing. Fucking the shittiest fucking glasses you can imagine, boss. Jesus. Dude, let's go. That was the 9th grade one. I look better in the 5th grade one. But no, this is 9th grade, dude. The alligator polo, yeah. You know what it was is I didn't really wear the fucking, I wasn't really into the Izod stuff. but there was a girl named 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗆 that I had a crush on, dude. She had braces and she was a total preppy. So I started wearing preppy clothes to try and like meet 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆. Dude, let's go, Scorpion, right? But of course, you'll see my mom didn't buy me the 𝗙𝗏𝗏. She bought me like the cheap version of it, whatever. And then you know what ended up happening though? I had a mad crush on 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆, and she would never give me the time of day. But you know what happened? Check this out. This is my life, guys. So I have a mad crush on 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆, a huge one. Like you can't imagine how much I was crushing on this girl. And so I started wearing the preppy shit. I couldn't get her attention. I was leaving her like secret admirer notes. Well, then my parents moved, and we moved into the apartment building that Christy's parents managed. So then I was living 15 feet from 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆. And she and I never became a couple, but we became like best friends, right? Isn't that crazy? We moved into the apartment building where her parents were the manager. So then me and Christy were like inseparable, right? And I still always had a crush on her, but it never worked out. But it's kind of crazy though, because like after I left and went back to California, like, dude, she had a really rough go of it, like as an adult. Like, you know, I kept in touch with her a little bit on Facebook, and she had a very, I don't know, she had a really rough go of it as an adult person, which is really sad. But yeah, isn't that wild? That's just how my life rolls, man. Did she ever know that I had a crush? Oh yeah, she knew I had a crush. Dude, she used to tease me, like, and do that shit. Like, she would like lick my neck and shit like that. She would do shit to like get me all agitated, knowing that like it was going nowhere, dude. She was she was a little crazy, bro. She was. But yeah, dude, she definitely, I still like, I follow her on Facebook or whatever. We're friends on Facebook. But see, the 5th grade one, I don't have a picture of the 5th grade perm, guys. I don't. I have a picture of what I looked like around that time, right? Like this was 7th grade. Okay, that was me in 7th grade. That was shortly after the 5th grade perm, but the 5th grade perm was looser. It was looser, the 5th grade perm. It was more like curling iron stuff. But yeah, this is me in 7th grade, right? Right? And then if we want to go way back, right, we can go back to me in, I don't know what year this is, but there's me in like, I want to say 1st grade, something like that, right? There's me in like 1st grade. All right, there it is. How's the looker? Right? Let's go. And then here's me when I graduated. This was me. This is my graduation photo. That was me in 1987 when I graduated. That was my high school portrait, my graduation portrait, right? Going to UCLA as an aerospace engineering major, right? Right? Then here's me in high school in a Speedo. That was me when I was a swimmer. That was fucking, I think like 11th grade or something, right? You see, I got my little Raiders thing. I had my speakers up in the air for some reason, dude. But there's me, fucking, that was like right before junior nationals. Dude, I was fast, bro. I was fucking fast, dude. I was. Yeah, no, I was wearing goggles for the picture. I wasn't wearing goggles inside. This was like a couple months before junior nationals. And I was taking photos, like whatever, dude. Right? But yeah, no, I was fast. Dude, I had the 6-pack, bro. I was fucking, I was cultivated, bro. I was a good swimmer, man. And let me see. I got one more. All right. This is me, my first year of college. Okay. This is me. That's me, my first year of college when I came home And this was one of my good friends from, you ready for this? This is one of my good friends from high school. This guy is one of the half brothers who actually sexually abused me, right? Is the guy right there in glasses. You can't really see him. But this was at my mom's house after my first year in college when I came home. That was me at age probably 19, I think, right? And we're fucking drinking champagne and playing some cards. This was before I knew about the abuse. I didn't know. Like, it's weird because one of the guys who sexually abused me, he fucking, like, took care of me. He gave me a car and, like, he did a bunch of shit for me in my 20s. You know what I mean? Is this the appropriate format to show a picture of an abuser? I don't know what you mean by that, but I have no problem showing a picture of him, dude. Right? I have no problem. I mean, we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, so yeah, it now seems like a perfect time to show a picture of him, right? Fuck him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Fuck him, bro. I'll fucking post his picture all over the internet, dude. He can fucking eat a dick, right? Let's go, baby. Let's go. It is so confusing. Yeah, no, it is, Aria. It is. I mean, that's what it is about like the sexual abuse. That is really confusing. You know what I'm saying? Is the fact that they take care of you because they're not abusing you to hurt you. They actually really love you and they care about you. And they're like, but they're fucked up and they have this other like haywire wiring. So that's why it's such a nefarious sort of crime. You know what I mean? It is. It's such a nefarious crime because they're not doing it to be harmful. You know, they're not. They're doing it out of a really fucked up expression of love. And yeah, so it's pretty crazy. But anyway, we're getting back to the story, dude. We had a little photo dump right there. But so Barr resigns, okay? Barr resigns and fucking Epstein gets hired before Barr resigns, okay? Dude, oh my God, Aria, that's crazy. The Times reported on it also at a rich school. Yeah. Well, you know what's wild about this, guys, is how it happens really extensively in wealthy circles too. I feel like it actually occurs almost more often in those wealthy circles because those families have a very strict culture of silence. A lot of the wealthy families are really, it's important to keep up the image. And you don't talk about your family shit ever. You know what I'm saying? You don't. And that's why it is really, really bad in the wealthy set because their families silence sort of anything that goes on. It's like part of their family codes and shit. It's pretty bad. But Epstein, you ready? Here we go. So Epstein from Brooklyn was just 21 when he joined the faculty at Dalton, arriving without a college degree. Jeffrey Epstein got hired by Bill Barr or by Donald Barr. I mean, we can't verify that he got hired by Donald Barr, but you know, he had no college degree and he got hired as a teacher in one of the top prep schools in the whole country. The school's student newspaper reported in September 1974, he was a math and physics teacher, guys, with no college degree. Okay, process that for a minute. The highest level college prep school in the entire Manhattan area with the most elite families putting their students in there. And Donald Barr hired Epstein with no college degree to teach math and physics. How? Right? Okay, the next year, he participated in a school musical for parents and faculty, and he appeared in later editions of the paper as the coach of the Dalton Tigers math team until the beginning of 1976. The school had new leadership under Gardner Dunnan, who tentatively explored a rollback of some of its strict rules. Mr. Dunnan announced in early 75 a policy that would allow denim inside the building, although students were still told to be neat and clean. In the years since, however, Mr. Dunnan has faced allegations of his own inappropriate conduct. A former Dalton student said in a lawsuit that she had been invited to live with Mr. Dunnan at age 14 and had suffered repeated sexual assaults under his care. Dunnan denied the allegations. The lawsuit was dropped, but the woman's lawyer, Marianne Meyer Wang, said she intended to refile it. Okay, here we go. Everyone talked about it. Okay. At Dalton, Mr. Epstein was known as a charismatic young teacher who at times acted more like a friend than an authority figure to students. The urban school inside a brick building did not have outdoor spaces to congregate, so students gathered in halls and in rooms that spanned the building's many stories. That included lab rooms dedicated to various subjects, providing more informal and intimate settings for students and for students to get help outside of class from their teachers. It was one of these lab rooms that 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆, who graduated from Dalton in 1978, first met Mr. Epstein. Okay, Miss 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆 remembered him as a flamboyant dresser and lively jokester. He was goofy and like a kid himself, she recalled. Miss 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆 said she became close to Mr. Epstein at a time when she was struggling at home with their parents' divorce. Now, this, guys, is sort of like giving you an eye into how these people operate. Because like he said, she became close to him when her parents were going through a divorce. And that's what it is about these abusers, is they can smell like the vulnerable, right? They can smell the vulnerable. You know, they can just like, they have like a detector that they can just find it. She said he listened. I was a 14-year-old and he helped me through a time when there wasn't anybody else to talk to. I felt like he really cared and I was having a rough go. She stressed that he was always professional with her. But other students, including Millicent Young, a graduate of the school's 1976 class, saw things differently. All right. Miss Young never had Mr. Epstein as a teacher, but the school was small enough that she would spend time around him. She recalled observing Mr. Epstein flirting with the girls at the school, which drew her attention because it was so different from how the other teachers behaved. There was a real clarity of the inappropriateness of the behavior, that this isn't how adult male teachers conduct themselves, Miss Young said. Mr. 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆, the fellow student who graduated the same year, said he had a clear recollection of disliking Epstein because he was spending so much time with girls in the school. Okay, some other students spoke on condition of anonymity, fearing retribution from Epstein. One recalled that he had made efforts to spend time with her outside of school. Right, dude, these are young fucking girls, man. And she remembered raising concerns about Epstein's conduct with another student to Mr. Dunnan. An attorney for Mr. Dunnan said the former headmaster had not been aware of any concerns about Epstein's conduct at the school. All right, another student who also requested anonymity, fearing reprisals from Mr. Epstein, recalled seeing Mr. Epstein at a high school party in an apartment on the Upper East Side where students were drinking and socializing. Mr. Epstein was the only teacher there, which raised eyebrows among the students. So he was a high school teacher who was at a party where kids were fucking drinking, bro. Dude, that is so out of whack, dude. That is so out of pocket. Okay, it was weird, said another student, Paul Grossman, a 78 graduate who did not attend the party, but remembers hearing about it. Everyone talked about it, he said. Peter Thomas Roth, who graduated in 1975 and later founded a cosmetic and skincare company with his name, said Epstein was such a brilliant teacher that his father later hired him to tutor Mr. Roth in statistics. Roth said he never heard any rumors about misconduct. He was like your friend, you know? But Peter Branch, who was an interim headmaster after Barr and later the head of the high school, was not fond of Epstein's teaching. He said he did not recall anyone raising concerns to him, but Epstein's conduct with students, he said he did not recall anyone raising concerns about Epstein's conduct with students, but that he had heard concerns from the faculty about Epstein's teaching and eventually determined the teacher needed to go. Epstein was a young teacher who didn't come up to snuff, Branch said, so ultimately he was asked to leave. Mr. Roth, the former student, said he and Epstein did not stay in close touch, but a couple years ago he got an invitation to Epstein's home after running into him. It was the only time he had been invited to Epstein's palatial townhouse, and so he went over for an afternoon gathering. Everyone present was in their 40s and 50s, and there was no untoward behavior. Dude, isn't that crazy? Dude, so that is like, dude, we have these images here, right? Of, we saw those couple of images of Epstein at the Dalton school, but then there's Donald Barr, all right? We should look at Donald Barr, okay? This is Bill Barr's dad, okay? So Donald Barr was in the Office of Strategic Services, okay? So he was somebody that was in the first American intelligence agency. So OSS was before the CIA, okay? That Donald Barr was, okay? He was born in Manhattan, all right? He was the Attorney General under George H.W. Bush. This was in 88, right? Back in the 80s, all right? And so he was in OSS during World War II. Then he came back and he went to Columbia. He got an MA in English. Then he got a PhD, okay? Then what did he do then? He then administered the National Science Foundation, okay, which is a government agency about like a college program. And then he was the head of the Dalton School from 64 to 74. So he presumably either he hired him. I mean, I think he did, right? Because the Dunnan guy came after that, after he was hired. And the Branch guy who let him go, I didn't hire him, the interim guy. So basically, Donald Barr announces his retirement. He brings in Epstein, and then he leaves, okay? In 73, though, here's where it gets weird, though, okay? This is where it gets weird. In 73, Barr published Space Relations, a science fiction novel about a planet ruled by oligarchs who engage in child sex slavery. It has been noted that the plot of the novel anticipates the crimes of Epstein and his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. So he writes a book about oligarchs who engage in child sex slavery on this planet. And he writes that book and releases it, publishes it a year before he hires Epstein to fucking work at the Dalton School to be a teacher of math and physics with no college degree. Okay, isn't that wild? I mean, you can't make this shit up, guys. You know what I'm saying? Dude, this is crazy. So let's see if we can find out. Because if we look at it, let me see here. Let's look at Epstein's fucking we're gonna look at Epstein's bio here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's so many weird interconnections here. Okay, because if you look at it, okay, so Epstein, what does he have here? He attended local public schools, all right? He attended the National Music Camp at Interlochen, right? Then he attended NYU studying math, but he didn't get a degree, so he went to NYU for a couple years at the Courant Institute, okay? Then at 21, he started working as a physics and math teacher for the Dalton School. Donald Barr was the headmaster until June. Okay, so it's like really weird, dude. I mean, presumably he got hired earlier in 74, right? That, you know what I mean? But so Donald Barr retires in June, and in September, Epstein starts. Okay, 3 months after Barr's departure. But we don't know who hired Epstein. It's like this big silent mystery. But obviously, reporters talked to the interim headmaster, that Branch guy. So clearly, if he had hired Epstein, I'm sure that would have come out. But so then he had some inappropriate behavior. All right. But it was there. Okay. It was there at the Dalton School where Epstein met Alan Greenberg and then eventually went to work for Bear Stearns. Okay. And right. And isn't that crazy? So Epstein got a Dalton parent to introduce him to Greenberg, who was the CEO of Bear Stearns. So he had somebody from the school introduce him to the CEO of Bear Stearns. Then he got hired by the CEO of Bear Stearns. Then he was dismissed and Greenberg hired him. So he went from the Dalton school to Bear Stearns. Okay. Then he was just a low-level junior trader at Bear Stearns. He started moving up the ladder. He started advising their super wealthy clients. Okay. And then 4 years after joining Bear Stearns, he was a limited partner, which is insane. Okay. It's insane. Like to go 4 years from a low-level trader to a partner. That's fast tracking it, guys. Believe me. I mean, I have some friends who got like partnered in law firms and shit. And they worked 100 hours a week for like a decade or more to get partner. Like you have to really, you know what I'm saying? You have to really get fucking, you know, you have to crank to move up that fast. Okay. So then look at him in 1980. There's a picture of Epstein in Cosmo magazine. He was the Bachelor of the Month, right? But so he went up for 4 years. He became a limited partner. All right. And then he got let loose though. Okay. He did get booted. He got booted for a Reg D violation. Okay. And that was for, right. That was, I remember reading about that. So what that is, Regulation D is, it's breaking the rules. It's some securities rule breaking. Dude, Deborah, let's go. Right? Some security rule breaking. So he got booted from Bear Stearns. Okay. He got booted for a Reg D violation. And then he founded his consulting firm, IAG. And in the beginning, it says he was a bounty hunter. Okay. He went to recover embezzled funds. And it was there that I believe, is when he first met Leslie Wexner. Okay. So he was traveling between the U.S., Europe, and the Middle East. He met Steve Hoffenberg. All right. And they met through a defense contractor. So now at this point, he's hanging out with like really, really fucking, you know, sort of intelligence and government people. Hoffenberg introduced him to Robert Maxwell. That's Ghislaine's dad. Okay. This is in the 80s. Epstein, so Hoffenberg introduced him to Maxwell. Now Maxwell, this is how he met Donald Trump. Okay. Because Trump knew Maxwell as well. Okay. During the 80s, he had an Austrian passport, but with a fake name. Okay. It showed his place of residence as Saudi Arabia. That's really weird. That he had an Austrian passport in the 80s, but with a different name. Isn't that wild? All right. And one of Epstein's clients was a Saudi Arabian businessman, Adnan Khashoggi, who was the middleman in transferring weapons for Iran-Contra from Israel to Iran. Okay. And then Hoffenberg hired him for Towers Financial in 87. Okay, set him up in offices in Manhattan, paid him $25,000 a month, guys. This is crazy, right? I mean, he got hired as a consultant for Towers Financial, making $25,000 a month in 1987, guys. Dude, that was the year I graduated from high school, bro. I got a job at the Gap and I was making $5.50 an hour and I was overpaid, right? Minimum wage was $5 an hour. They hired me at $5.50 because I was a schmoozer. Dude, he was making $25,000 a month. Okay. Then they started doing corporate raiders. See, this is where some shit went on because Towers Financial, the Hoffenberg company, that went down. Okay. Towers Financial went down as a big Ponzi scheme and the Hoffenberg guy went to jail. Okay. And Epstein nothing happened to Epstein. Okay. It was a giant Ponzi scheme lost over $450 million of its investors' money. Okay, and Hoffenberg said Epstein was involved in the scheme, but he never got charged. Okay, right? He never got charged. Epstein didn't. Okay, and then he started his own J. Epstein and Company, and then that's when he had Leslie Wexner as his client from The Limited. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, and so like, dude, this is just where it seems like something about this is weird, right? You know, like Donald Barr brings him into the Dalton school. Donald Barr leaves. Epstein's there. He gets somebody to introduce him to Alan Greenberg. He gets bounced from the school. He goes to Bear Stearns. He's some violation. He gets set free. Then he fucking meets Hoffenberg and Maxwell. And then next thing you know, he's like interconnected with this fucking giant Ponzi scheme at Tower Financial. Tower goes down. Epstein skates away. And right the whole time, he's just avoiding any responsibility in this shit. Like something was definitely going on with this, right? And then from Wexner, it was really weird with Leslie Wexner, okay? Because with Wexner, he had power of attorney, okay? Like Wexner basically gave Jeffrey Epstein control of all of his finances. Epstein literally had power of attorney. Why would a billionaire give some random dude power of attorney for all of his wealth? That's just strange. You know, that's just strange. And yeah, he definitely like learned a lot from those modeling agency guys. All right? Dude, that shit is wild, bro. Dude, yeah, there's so many interconnections. But what's really interesting about this, guys, about this whole Epstein situation, what I find really absolutely the most interesting fucking thing about this is the thing that is most interesting about this, guys, is how Epstein moved effortlessly up the escalator of like people of power, right? He was just handed, you know what I mean? Like into the Dalton school, to Greenberg, to Hoffenberg, right? You know what I mean? Like he was just like put right into these circles. And then the other thing that's really wild about it is how all of those circles come back through Donald Trump. Because if you go from like 1985 until 2005, in that 20-year period, Donald Trump was at the center of like the real estate business in New York City, and he was in the center of the Palm Beach social circle. Okay, Epstein was in both of those spaces. Robert Maxwell's daughter, Robert Maxwell was friends with Trump. His daughter was dating Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, they were like intimately connected, all of them. You know what I'm saying? And you know, then you have the modeling agencies that were active at the time, you know, Jean-Luc Brunel, John Casablancas, fucking Donald Trump, right? So you have these modeling agencies, and it's like Palm Beach, New York, Paris, right? There's like a fucking three-way sort of circuit of these people that, and you know, Trump's modeling agency was trafficking girls from Eastern Europe. You know, there was, I mean, dude, there's just a lot of weird shit going on. And the other thing though, guys, I'm glad somebody mentioned Russia in there, because what was also happening simultaneously, guys, is during the late 80s and into the 90s and early 2000s, nobody would loan money to Trump anymore. Okay, Trump lost his ability to get bank loans in the United States because of like shady business dealings and because of like, you know, the way he was operating. And so that's when like Deutsche Bank and these Russian oligarchs that Epstein found out Trump was like working with. I mean, there's a lot of fucking like, there's a lot of like Middle East, Russia, America fucking connection going on. Trafficking girls from Eastern Europe. And I don't even know how Netanyahu gets involved in this, because Netanyahu in the late 90s was when he was getting involved in politics, and he was Jared Kushner's dad's really good friend. You know what I mean? And so all of this shit, like Trump started going out of the US to get money. Okay. You know, and yeah, nobody had hard proof, right? I mean, it's really hard to get hard proof about any of this shit, but isn't that crazy? Dude, that shit is nuts, boss. Like, just insane. Now, there was something else. I feel like that's a good, we were going to look at the Melania Trump having sex with Epstein. All right, let me go to the bathroom, and then we're going to come back and we're going to look at Melania. All right? Shit is wacky, bro. Dude, that picture, bro, kills me. I'll be right back.
My love, is it ever good enough? 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 Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? I've got no place to be. You're all I've got. You're all I want.
Yo, 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 yo. Let's go.
I've got.
TYT, Anna and Canary, a right wing. What is that? What is the Anna and Canary, a right wing? What does that even mean? Oh, shit. Dude, yeah, no, I want to figure out this Melania Trump stuff about her sleeping with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's do a little Michael Wolff. Yeah, what are you talking about, Malia? What is that? 6 out of 10, guys. We got 20 minutes. 4 more for dance party. Find that Michael Wolff bet. Let's go, Mr. Moj. Mr. Mojangles. Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is the book, I guess, Prince Andrew, right? You said Prince Andrew released a book, right? Yeah, so put a link to the video in Discord that you want us to look at. We'll fucking check it out. Give me 1 sec here to get this set up. MTN needs to get rid of Cohen. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Cohen, though, bleeding is they're probably holding on to him because he's got inside information, right? So, which is super valuable to them, being investigative reporters, right? So, like, having somebody that is, because the thing about Michael Cohen, right, even though he's despicable and he's a liar, he is a useful source because anybody in Trump world that they want to interview or get connected to or talk to, Michael Cohen has access. Okay, so Michael Cohen is like a fucking snitch. You know what I mean? That's what his use is. He's like an informant, okay? Because he's not altogether truthful. You know he's covering Trump's ass. But as long as they're giving him a platform, he opens the door to everybody else in the Trump realm. And I think for a group like Midas Touch, it's a really important access. You know what I'm saying? You do have to sometimes keep those relationships up with less than stellar people when they provide you, you know, I mean, it harkens back to what I was talking about. Like when I would get a job at a bar, I would figure out who was the most powerful person in the job I had. And then I would figure out who their allies were. And I would make sure that their allies were like my allies. And then all of a sudden I'm in that, right? Now I have access to the most powerful person in the bar, right? It's just a necessary part of the shuck and the jive that is involved in, if you want to have access to the information and the power, you have to pick somebody in that realm to be your ally. And so they're going to pick the least scuzzy one. You know what I mean? Right? I mean, in Trump land, right? You know, you pick the least scuzzy one, right? That's fucking what you have to do. Dude, I'm telling you though, guys, politics is not for the faint of heart, guys. It's a dirty business, right? Not everybody has the stomach for it because you have to hobnob with some really terrible fucking people, right? You know what I mean? You do. All right, so let's look at this shit. This is the book that was published yesterday, The Rise and Fall of the House of York. All right? Yeah, he is a rat. So the book here, it just came out August 14th, 5 days ago. All right. It says entitled Andrew 𝗏𝗏. So Andrew 𝗏𝗏, that's Prince Andrew? No, it's not. Oh, it's about Prince Andrew. Okay. All right. See, I thought it was a book by Prince Andrew. Somebody said Prince Andrew wrote a book. It's an unauthorized biography of the book. Okay. So this is a biography of Prince Andrew written by a fucking well-known historical writer. Okay. Got it. Yeah. I thought Prince Andrew wrote a book, and I'd be like, why would Prince Andrew be writing a book? The last fucking thing he would be talking about is Epstein, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's no way, dude. There's no fucking way that that would be the stupidest mistake ever, right? All right, so it's 4 years of research, okay, and a bunch of FOIA requests. All right, it examines Andrew's links with Epstein, okay, earlier, which says that their relationship was earlier, continued longer, and was much more frequent than reported. Now, by the way, guys, if you look at Prince Andrew and Epstein, there's only one photo, okay? There's only one photo of these guys together, right? Look at this shit. It's this one. This is it. This is the only known photo. Hold on. All right, I already got it saved. This is the only known photo of these guys together. 2010, this was taken, guys. 2010. 3 years. Okay, remember Prince Andrew? Oh, I had no involvement with Epstein. I didn't know anything. I never saw Virginia Giuffre. Oh, there's a picture of us? Oh, shit, I don't remember that picture. Totally innocent. This is 3 years after Jeffrey Epstein registered as a sex offender. Epstein had already been prosecuted and gotten off with that immunity deal. 3 years later, Prince Andrew and Epstein get photographed in Central Park. Now that's crazy. This guy who supposedly had no connection to Epstein is caught talking to him years after his arrest, right? So now we know, looking at the videos I've made about the island, and if you talk to Epstein's butler or the people who worked on Little St. James, Prince Andrew was a frequent visitor, right? Down to fucking, 𝗙𝗏𝗄𝗆 and fucking, Epstein's Island. He was down there all the time, okay? He was all the time. 15 minutes left. 13 minutes, guys. 3 more. All right? So, the book is basically saying they had a much more extensive relationship than anybody admitted to, which we know. They had a very, very deep connection, okay? So the book alludes to the rise and fall of the house in York, focuses on Prince Andrew and Sarah, the Duchess of York, right? Let me see. 𝗏𝗏 claims that Andrew and Sarah had both met Epstein prior to 99, okay? Despite Andrew's claims to the contrary. He also raises the possibility of Epstein passing information on Andrew and his other high-profile friends to Mossad, Saudi Arabian authorities, and Gaddafi's Libyan intelligence services. Okay, now, again, this stuff is like unconfirmed. This is what the writer's pulling out after his research. Now, we should note, that this picture of Prince Andrew and Epstein, this was in 2001. Okay, this picture, and that's Epstein taking the picture. Okay, So, what do we got? Among other topics, here we go. Included in these references to Epstein was the claim he had an intimate relationship with Melania Trump a year before she began dating Donald Trump. Okay, they also talked about Andrew's sexual habits, going to Thailand. This guy was apparently fucking really getting deep into it. So that's the claims in the book. So there's a claim in this book from Andrew 𝗏𝗏, okay? Andrew 𝗏𝗏, this historian writer from the UK, that says that Melania Trump okay, had been with Virginia Giuffre here is 17. All right. And this photo. Oh yeah. This photo is at Ghislaine Maxwell's apartment in London. And yes, in the flat in Paris, in Epstein's flat, there were apparently a ton of pictures of them together. And the French police took that shit, and we don't know where that is. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the French police did with the stuff they took out of Epstein's apartment. Is that stuff still in France? Did that stuff? I don't think it made its way to the U.S., right? There's no reason the French authorities and the U.S. authorities would be like, right? The FBI, I don't think, was meeting internationally with them. We do know that a couple years after Epstein, hung himself, Jean-Luc Brunel, who was the modeling agency owner from Europe that was Epstein's partner in MC2, his business partner, he killed himself in prison too. Okay? Isn't that wild? Dude, that Jeffrey Epstein had a modeling agency, MC2, operated in New York and Miami. And after Epstein died, his business partner, Jean-Luc Brunel, also hung himself in prison. Wild. Okay, so this is the claim that, right? And there's other photos. I mean, we have this other photo too, which I should show you that, of course, this is another one. Let me find a better, bigger photo. But this photo came up the other day. This is Epstein, Prince Andrew, Melania, and Gwendolyn Beck, which is Bob Menendez, the corrupt Democratic senator from New Jersey, mob ties. Bob Menendez, she was his girlfriend as well. And several of the Epstein victims pointed the finger at Gwendolyn Beck being involved in orgies with them. Okay? You know what I mean? I mean, dude, this is crazy. These ties. But so let's see what Michael Wolff says here about this book. Shall we? Shall we see what he says? All right, let's hear what he's got to say.
A new book was published yesterday in the U.S.
By the way, everybody, I'm going to say if you're jacked up on caffeine or whatever, like I am, get ready to slow down for a minute, because Michael Wolff might be one of the slowest fucking speakers. You know what I mean? Right? Oh, shit. I'm going to get a little herbal tincture going. Resistance to vampires and fucking government-funded pedophiles. All right, you ready? Here we go. Michael Wolff's going to take us there. 3 minutes. It's probably going to be like 5 sentences. Here we go.
A new book was published yesterday in the US and UK entitled The Rise and Fall of the House of York. It's by a British journalist by the name of Andrew Loney. And it's about the pathetic life of Prince Andrew, but it is also about his connection to Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Melania Trump. And in fact, it contains a passage in which Epstein is quoted, and this is from an interview apparently in 2007, where he says that he had sex with Melania a full year before Donald Trump commenced his relationship with Melania. Now,
dude, that's big, right? And from an interview, no less. Dude, Mr. Moj, let's go, baby. Dude, we got one more and we dance, dude. Oh, fuck you, Elon. Fuck you. You fucking shit on, bro. You too, Trumpy. Love it. All right. Thank you. Dude, we have the best little fucking, we have the best little, whatever they're called. I don't know what we call those. They're like giant emotes, right? They're little fucking, little filmic things. You're here for the dancing? Let's go, dude. Dude, we love it. All right. So yeah, dude, I think that's kind of big, right? Epstein hanging out with Melania. I know somebody made a comment about the only time you see Melania smile is when she's hanging out with these total fucking weirdos, right? Dude, crazy shit going on, bro, with these guys. These are some dirty birds, bro. This shit is like dirty birds, right? Here's another one. There's fucking Epstein, Ghislaine. I don't know who this is. Dude, fucking wild, man. Fucking wild, boss. Dude, woke grandma! Let's go. Woke grandma finishes it, and Scorpion Kingdom comes in heavy. Let's go, baby. All right, we're going to finish this Michael Wolff, and then we dance. Dude, smack Elon for you. I got you, dude. I got you all. Let's go. Fuck you, Elon. You too, for Brutus. Oh, dude, I love watching him get roughed up, right? Dude, yeah, the smug face. Dude, Epstein, like, he does the weirdest photobombs. If you really go back and you look at these parties, like, Epstein photobombs, like, a lot of people. And he always looks very, very fucking bizarre when he does it. Yeah, Epstein, Bannon does. He has, like 15 hours or something of Epstein interviews. I have a couple tapes that we're going to play that we're going to listen to that I think are connected to this a little.
The hardcover copy of the book was widely available yesterday, and it contains that passage. But the ebook and the audio book, which were also released yesterday, do not contain that passage. So
interesting. Isn't that crazy? So the hardcover book that has that passage about Epstein and Melania sleeping together, right? The hardcover book, which obviously they printed who knows when, probably like 6 or 7 months ago. But between then and now, the ebook and the audiobook, that's been removed. Right? Yeah, no, they couldn't redact it from the hardcover. Exactly, because they'd already gone to press. That's fucking crazy, isn't it?
What happened here is that between the printing and the distribution of the book and its release is that Melania Trump started to send threatening legal letters to anyone who might connect her directly to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, Hunter Biden, anyone? Right? I mean, Melania did this because the first people to break this story about Melania and Epstein was the Daily Beast. Okay, they did an article about it. You may have seen Keith Andrews, sorry, Freudian slip. Keith Edwards did a video on the Daily Beast article about Melania. He was like one of the first content creators to do a video about that. And YouTube hardly showed that video to anyone. They totally squelched it. Like, I was following that video for the first couple days, and it was like getting no views. It was totally getting like binned off to the side. And then the Daily Beast pulled the article down, okay, because Melania went after them. All right. Then James Carville made some comments on a podcast, and she went after Carville, and he pulled the video down and retracted his statement. Hunter Biden and Channel 5, they're the only people that were like, fuck you, Melania. Come and try me, because she doesn't have any legal standing. Now, I understand why the Daily Beast pulled it, because she doesn't really have any legal standing, but Donald Trump, could go after the Daily Beast, and they certainly don't have the resources to fight the U.S. government or Donald Trump's legal machine. So I get why they pulled it, because once the story's out there, it's kind of done its job. So the press companies, the small ones like that, they had a little more stake in the game, right? Yeah, I was really disappointed too, but you realize that they put it out there. And so I feel like now the independent outlets are all going to pick it up. And then maybe what'll happen is eventually we'll break through to where they realize they can't really do anything to stop it. And then maybe it'll all come back. But I am disappointed anytime a media outlet like caves to Trump, but I also know that it's more complicated being a media outlet now than ever. And in order for them to stay, right, in order for them to stay producing shit, they have to sort of toe the line. You know, it's like they gotta dance around that fucking, you know, that elephant in the room of like, you know, the government coming and crushing them. It's really unfortunate, but I also know that if it had been something that was life or death, I don't think they would have pulled it. They just realized that, it's out there. All the independent media are going to take this anyway, so we can pull it because we've already done the damage. And Smooth Luna, thank you. I appreciate you, right? The lawyers that would defend the media. Yeah, no, I mean, it's tough, right? It's tough, but she's not going to be able to sue everyone. Let me just put it to you that way.
So the publishers, I mean, and this is hard to figure out exactly what they believe they have accomplished here, but clearly they published the book and clearly had it vetted by lawyers and decided it was legally sound. But then, in the face of Melania Trump's threats, they ran and hide.
Of course they did. Jesus,
I mean, it's kind of ostrich-like to think that they could put the book out and that the book can. The printed book can contain one thing and the other versions another, but that's not the point.
Now, see, what he said is a really important part of the process. Is after Andrew Loney finished this book, okay, and the publisher, they have a huge legal department that goes through every claim in the book, and they verify the source material. They write that you have to get a legal clearance to put a book out so the book publisher is not going to get sued for libel. I mean, there is a significant process especially with these unauthorized biographies where sometimes some really racy shit gets pulled up. So this book got vetted. This book went through legal at a major, what was it? HarperCollins, right? Who published this thing? It was published by, HarperCollins, which is one of the biggest book publishers on the fucking planet. So their massive legal team vetted this book and approved this shit before it went to the press. Okay, before it went to presses. Now, they may be folding on the whole Melania, whatever's going on with them now, but the fact that it made it through legal to even get into that hardcover is saying something, okay? Because if it's just some wild, unsourced shit where there's no, right? You know what I mean? Like, same with these big exposés, okay? When an editor of like a huge New York Times expose piece, when they put that piece out, that editor has seen multiple clarifications of every fact in that piece. If they don't have it, they're not printing it because they could be sued for libel. It would damage their credibility. I mean, there is these people go through a significant process. So it wasn't something that Andrew Loney just made up out of the blue and decided to throw in there. Oh, here, let's put some shit about Melania. There were interviews and shit where that was talked about.
The point is just panic. So we're at this moment in time when this information about Epstein and Trump and the Trumps is coming out, and yet at the same time, the White House is doing everything to stop it from coming out. And this is certainly an example in which they are succeeding.
Crazy. All right. So dude. So yeah, I mean, dude, the more I hear about this, okay, you know what I'm saying? the more I hear about this, the more I fucking look at that photo, dude. The more that I look into this case, okay, the more that I look into this case, guys, the more I realize how Ghislaine Maxwell was like high level, like running the operation. Okay. She was like way up at the top. And B, Melania is deeply fucking involved in this shit too. He's closer to Ghislaine. Yeah, he's always like that in pictures, right? If you look at, like, I have some pictures of Trump. Like, look at this shit. You ready? Look at, there's one with Trump and Ivanka. Let me just show you this picture, okay? This one is crazy, all right? This one, Trump, Ivanka, and Melania. Well, look at that. You look at this picture, who's his wife, right? Tell me who his wife is. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, isn't it crazy? And there's another one, guys. There's a group one where it's The Apprentice, okay? They had a party to celebrate when The Apprentice dropped. Let me find you this picture. It's this one. You ready? This is when The Apprentice happened. Okay? When The Apprentice came out, they always have a big premiere party when your show comes out. And this is the photo from The Apprentice premiere party. Okay? And there's Trump with Ivanka. There's Melania. And there's who he was married to. And there's his fucking mistress, Karen McDougal. And every time you see Trump in a photo with his wife and Ivanka, he's like moreover, like it always looks like Ivanka is his date. Okay. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. This is Karen McDougal. She was having an affair with him too. And now what happened with this, I know, his hand's right down on her fucking booty, dude. It is like right down there, right? No, actually it's not. That's Karen McDougal's hand. Never mind. We're wrong. We're jumping to conclusion. That is Karen McDougal's hand on her waist. Okay. His left hand is somewhere back here, but this is her. That's her arm and her hand right there. Right. She's got her arm around her and she's got her arm around her. But his hand is probably on the small of her back or something. But so Karen McDougal, during the presidential election in 2016, at the same time that Trump paid Stormy Daniels to be quiet and fudged his business records, Karen McDougal had a story about Trump that David Pecker from the National Enquirer bought her story and he did a catch and kill. So she was the other person silenced during 2016 after the Access Hollywood tape to make sure that Trump could win the election. Dude, this shit is gnarly. Yeah, I mean, Melania hates him. I mean, dude, he's a fucking scumbag, right? I think I need to save this picture, though. There we go. All right. Let's go. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Dude, that shit is nuts, bro. Yeah, I want to see this clip too. And then we're going to move on. We're going to see, right? Who's 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪? How is she? Is she connected to this? Is she connected to the Epstein case in some way? Because sometime this week, we're going to have a show about the people who have died. We really got to look at all the people who have died. She's a Czech model. All right, I'll look into that. We have to look at all the people who have died, though, because there has been a significant amount of death connected to this, okay? Connected to this case, a lot of death. And now what's crazy is like we're getting at the point where like there can't really be any more death, guys. I mean, there can, but not without it being very like questionable. You know what I mean? Like we're getting at the point where now if more people start dying, everybody's going to be like, what the fuck is going on? Right? You know what I mean? All right, we're going to watch this video real quick. And then after we watch this Michael Wolff one, I'm going to dance. Okay? We have a dance. Okay? Yes. Discord is down in the description. Please join up so we can keep this crazy train going fucking all night long, all day long. All right, here we go.
Hunter Biden has received the latest letter from Melania Trump or her lawyers or her husband's lawyers, threatening a $1 billion lawsuit for linking her with Jeffrey Epstein. This follows similar letters to the Daily Beast and to James Carville. This is in part based on remarks that I made about Donald Trump and Melania Trump and Jeffrey Epstein knowing each other. And that is patently true.
Absolutely.
Many photographs of them together. They shared a circle of acquaintances. They even at the party that Melania Trump describes where she met Donald Trump, that was a party hosted by a modeling agent by the name of Paolo Zampolli.
Oh, Zampolli, yeah.
Who was known by Trump and by Epstein. And in fact, Epstein was at this party.
Of course he was.
So why would they be going out of their way to deny the undeniable, to pick a fight that they can't possibly win?
Yeah, see, it's really unusual because if somebody were to take her up on the lawsuit and move this lawsuit forward, there would be a gnarly discovery process. Like, gnarly, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird to me that, I mean, I get a lot of it is just the blustering threat, but, you know, I think Hunter Biden is crazy enough to take her up on it if she wants to go there, you know, but the discovery process would be insane.
Well, let me look confused a moment and then come to the obvious conclusion that there must be something else they don't want us to know.
Yeah, of course there is.
Here's a proposal. Don't settle these lawsuits.
Yes.
But pursue them.
Yes. Let's go to discovery, baby.
Take the depositions of Melania Trump and Donald Trump.
Dude, can you imagine deposing Melania Trump and Donald Trump both about Jeffrey Epstein and all their contacts? And then they could depose all these other people too. Let's get some of these Epstein acolytes in there, right? Let's, you know.
Ask them how they know Jeffrey Epstein. This, not the Epstein files, might be the mother lode of information that everybody wants. Find out what happened.
This guy's so slow.
In 10 years of pursuing
Come on, baby.
models.
You can do it. You can do it, Michael Wolff.
runway models, catalog models, Eastern European models, girls who just dreamed of being models.
Dude, what's the betting line on pleading the fifth? Oh, yeah, dude. There would be so much pleading of the fifth. There would be so much pleading the fifth. I mean, we're talking like record amounts of pleading the fifth. You know? What's this one?
Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania to Donald Trump.
Trump was a frequent passenger on Epstein's plane, known as the Lolita Express. And Epstein told author Michael Wolff the first time he slept with Melania was on my plane.
In a 2002 interview with New York Magazine, Trump showered praise on Epstein, calling him a, quote, terrific guy, and saying, it is even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania.
Dude, that's crazy. Dude, I don't doubt that for a minute that Epstein and Melania hooked up, right? And I also don't doubt for a minute that the first time Trump banged her, it was on Epstein's plane. I have no doubt. I'm sure there's other bangings that went on the Epstein plane as well. All right? All right. So, dude, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I didn't get to go to the bathroom last time because it was occupied. All right. But, all right, look at these guys. I love these people. Look at that. These fucking bot accounts with the MAGA shit and these fake, like, whatever fucking profile pictures. Dope fiend Hunter Biden better lay off the supply. He's about to owe Melania a ton of dough. What a loser. According to Michael Wolff, he clarifies Epstein didn't directly introduce her, but was present. No, he said he did introduce her, right? Right? Oh, shit. Dude, he's not going to owe shit, bro. Come on. Dude, they think it's so crazy. They do. All these MAGA, they think like, oh, suing. They don't even understand how it works, dude. Melania Trump ain't suing shit. She's not. She's not suing shit. And if she did, dude, that would be the deposition of a lifetime, bro. To have Melania Trump get deposed for like 10 hours about Jeffrey Epstein and about, her experiences with these people, like, man, there's no way. There's no way that she's going to do that. Yeah. I'll be right back. Hang tight. Let's go. Dude. Dude, what in the crazy shit, right? Oh, yeah. Dude, what in the crazy shit was going on today with fucking Zelenskyy, right? Right? Do I have a CD out there to purchase? Yeah, there's a link to some music down in the description. It's on Apple Music and Spotify that you can buy. If you want CDs, I do actually have some CDs. You can go to my old gaming website, right? There's a merch store there at actingliketommy.com. It's still up. Eventually, there's going to be a political punk site. I just haven't had the time or the resources to transfer it over yet. But where's Natalie? She's here earlier. Just hanging out. All right.
I just want to change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Right? I saw that. That was in the tweet that we just looked at too, right? Which was where somebody questioned him about it, and he says, oh, he didn't directly introduce him, but I think he was at the same party, right? So I guess his story is changing. I mean, we're never gonna know, right? It's not, tell me it's not edited. What, this one? The one, all right, let's look at it. What do we got here? Is this one?
You made the claim that Melania was introduced to Donald Trump by Epstein.
Well, I said that she was introduced through that circle, is what I exactly said.
Epstein didn't make the direct.
Dude, what the fuck is this video, bro? Right? Like, what is this fucking video? You know what I mean? Like he's talking to a laptop, right? This is so weird. He's talking to a laptop, and then there's like, dude, it's totally clipped together. And then there's what is this podcast from like fucking 10 years ago or some shit? Right? This is like one of those Saturday Night Live clips where they cut to Private Reginald Adams. Right?
I don't know exactly what the direct introduction.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is this clip, dude?
You made the claim that Melania was introduced to Donald Trump by Epstein.
Well, I said that she was introduced through that circle, is what I exactly said.
Epstein didn't make the direct introduction.
I don't know exactly what the direct introduction. I think that he was at that party where they met. So, I mean, again, I mean, I think it's just very important to be clear about this, that this was a circle of people who knew each other. Everyone knew everyone. Epstein had known Melania. Melania then she knew the same agents that they.
Dude, what is with this fucking, right? What is with the quality of this, right? He's watching this on the fucking internet.
All working with. So that this was, again, I think circle is the right word.
Because what does this say here? It says inside Trump's head. All right, what is, let's see what inside Trump's head is. So this is 6 days ago?
Welcome to the...
Is that the same fucking thing? Hey, let's see what we got here. What is with that low quality, right? We're gonna look. Oh shit, dude, I just fucking highlighted the entire fucking chat, bro. That's not gonna work. So this is saying August 14th, right? Here we go. Yeah, let's find it here.
Mondani, this was Trump started to say into having this Trump going around saying, I need a big thing.
Last week about how I interrupt you.
Oh, let me see if we can find this here. Hold on, let's see what we got here. Does he have a coffee cup on the fucking table? He does. He has a Daily Beast coffee cup. Let's look at the transcript here. Is there a transcript? There's normally a transcript. There it is. All right. And what was he? Hold on. We're going to scroll through this whole thing so it's all in there. And we're going to, what did he say here?
About this, that this was a circle of people who knew.
Circle of people. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, so that does not come up in here, right, at all. See what we got about Epstein. There's a bunch about Epstein. All right. So presumably, though, yeah, see, isn't that weird? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is very strange, okay? Because it looks like, if you look at this video, right, with him on the Inside Trump's Head podcast, it is like, right? It's like some shit with this old pixelated whatever. I mean, is this fucking Andrew Callahan? I know he did not interview Michael Wolff. And so I'm wondering if this is an AI, because look at how pixelated it is. And look at how like weird it is. And like, I don't know if his fucking fingers are doing some weird shit, right? Or what? But this is presumably from this fucking podcast that we literally just looked at, which was 6 days ago, but he never talked about it, right? So I don't know where they got that footage, because we just looked at the Michael Wolff, okay? And he did not talk about that in this podcast. And what's more, there's a guest the whole time, right? And in this one, there's no guest. Or, right? So yeah, I don't know what that is, dude. He doesn't ever take his jacket off. Right? Joanna's the woman in there. Yeah, he doesn't take his jacket off. So right? His jacket is never off in that video. So unless there's another Inside Trump's Head, which there doesn't seem to be. He does a few dude, it's the same podcast, bro. There's not a few pods. There's not another podcast that comes to the Daily Beast and fucking, right? There's not some other podcaster that comes to the Daily Beast setup and starts podcasting with him, right? This is the only podcast he did here with them, and he is like got his jacket on this whole time. All right. So I don't know where that footage from. Right. Yeah. So that's fucking, you know what I mean? And again, though, guys, the dead giveaway is how the low quality here. Okay. The low quality here is the dead giveaway, guys, because there is no way that it would be this low quality, right? Look at the quality of this podcast. What, did somebody fucking record this thing with a fucking trash can? There's no way. This is fake as shit, bro. This is fake as shit. And who is the clip keeper? Right? Who is this guy? Yeah, look at this guy. All of this is like fake clips, dude. Fucking some Biden shit. I think this guy is like a fake clip. I mean, obviously, look at his name, the clip keeper with the eagle. This guy is total fucking phony ass. Right? I don't know what his deal is, but he's a total fucking phony ass shit. Something's going on, man. The her take set? This guy's a MAGA bullshitter. He is a MAGA bullshitter. All right, next up, we move. Dude, we gonna cover a little bit of Zelenskyy? Dude, that shit, that is the craziest shit. I mean, you're gonna be hard pressed to find anything of that bad of quality. I mean, dude, there is some like the fucking, you know, that was like some of the lowest quality shit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, that's happening in Texas, dab hand, right? So it's not that she won't sign Abbott's bill. So there's a situation going on right now in Texas where a state legislator, right, they want her to sign this thing that guarantees she'll be around when the bill comes up to be like voted on or what have you. And what ended up happening was, you know, they're holding her against her will or some shit. I just saw Midas Touch post something about that. But dude, we got to see what we got with Trump and Zelenskyy today. Is there anything worth fucking covering? Dude, look at this. See, first off, this is the power move right here, boss. You know what I'm saying? Right here, I mean, Zelenskyy is a fucking smart man, boss. Right? Smart fucking man. Well, yeah, but so Janae, let's talk about that, because there's a clip of that we should discuss that, okay? Because first off, Zelenskyy showing up with backup, smart man. Because at the end of the day, this shit is getting weird because Ukraine wants to join NATO, okay? Now, Trump wants to disband NATO. That's been his goal from the start. And now what they're doing is they're like trying to say some shit about, you know, like, oh, we're going to give you some security assurances if you don't join NATO. But like, dude, they already did that. There were security assurances given in like 1994, I think. And Putin never listens to any of this shit. Okay. So that's the problem. Like, I think Ukraine should join NATO and fuck Putin and fuck Trump. But what this was great about this is Zelenskyy brought all the backup. So Trump couldn't ambush him again. Because remember the last time they ambushed the shit out of Zelenskyy. And this time he's like, fuck you. Now you have the whole fucking everybody on my side, the whole fucking world, right? And this was a brilliant move, right? You see Trump just probably trying to be affable and play it off, but you know inside, Trump was fuming. You know he was fuming when he found out that this was happening, dude. You know it, because it raises the stakes on it. Because, guys, these used to be all of the U.S.'s allies. And now Trump is like, you know, polishing fucking Putin's knob while all of our allies are fucking, you know what I'm saying? And he is dying inside. But let's watch this clip in question, though, because I think we should discuss it. Okay, here's the clip. This is the one you put in Discord, Natalie. I'm presuming it's the same one, but watch this clip because I think we should discuss this, okay? Because this is, a lot of people have been talking about this. I've seen people talking about it online too. But I do want to give you a little bit of background here, okay?
Upon peace, God willing we get peace, are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances and a little bit we need to work in the parliament because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, in the battlefield, in the sky, in the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now, so you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections. Oh, that's good.
See, Trump thinks he's being clever here, but hold on.
I wonder what the fake
you like this idea?
Yeah. No. Speaking of news.
But see, here's the problem with this, guys, is that would not happen here in the United States. In Ukraine, it is written into their constitution, okay? The Ukrainian constitution says you cannot have election during wartime. It's literally in their constitution. The United States Constitution has no such provision, okay? We've had elections during World War II, World War I, Vietnam, Korea, the Civil War, right? You can have martial law. You can have fucking the war. You could have the War of the Roses. It does not matter. It does not suspend U.S. elections. There is nothing that halts a U.S. election, period, right? But see, he just loves, though, to like sort of play into this shit. You know what I mean? And what if we're invaded? If we're invaded, we're just going to give them Texas, right? That's what we're going to do. If anybody tries to invade us, we're going to give them Texas, since now giving away land after you get invaded is the new Trump thing. Okay, if someone invades us, we give Texas. All right, congratulations. Enjoy Texas. We'll fucking smell you later. Dude, take Greg Abbott to the woodshed. No, you can't. Trump has no say. All right, Trump has no say over elections. Okay, guys, the election process is guaranteed in the Constitution, guys. Okay, Trump has no fucking say. He could write executive orders to his fucking heart's content. That would be like somebody trying to write an executive order canceling the Second Amendment. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. He can't prevent states from having an election. States would have them anyway. What's he going to do? He's going to send in the army to all 50 states at once? Please. Right? And if their states decided they weren't having an election, okay, then your votes don't count. Good luck. Smell ya. Right? You know what I mean? Like, please. Dude, he's not going to do a fucking full military fucking thing. Dude, he doesn't have the stones for it. Yeah, I know. He's going to write an executive order, but again, that's not going anywhere either. He can't touch mail-in voting. Okay? I mean, Amy McGrath is a great person to look at. All right? She is, right? She was talking about this today, guys. Okay? She was somebody who ran in Kentucky. Okay? She ran against Mitch McConnell. and she talked about it today. Where is it? Where she said, right here was this one. When it says Trump to sign executive order to help eliminate mail-in voting. But again, Trump can't touch the election process. And Amy McGrath said the Constitution would like a word, and it's because Article 1, Section 4, right? The states have the power to regulate the time, place, and the manner of the election. So the state has control, okay? A state can do mail-in voting, and there is nothing the federal government can do to stop that. It is guaranteed in the Constitution. He would have to, like, do a military takeover of all 25 blue states or whatever, right? Like, yeah. Nah, I mean, of course, he's going to write a bullshit executive order and it's going to go to court and he's going to hope that somewhere in there. But like, guys, this is good training grounds here, because at some point, if there's a court case like this about Article 1, Section 4, and it went to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court voted against the U.S. Constitution, then we would know that, like, we have a war on our hands, and now it's time to get an international coalition together and go in, and we have to start fucking blowing some shit up, right? You know what I mean? I mean, up to this point, he's like doing the inching towards fascism thing, but naturally, if the Supreme Court went against the U.S. Constitution, then we would just know, like, okay, it's fighting time now, right? We would all know in no uncertain terms. But I'm telling you, I don't think Trump is really going to go that far, right? I think he's going to push it as far as he possibly can. But I don't see them doing something so blatantly like disregarding, you know what I'm saying? Disregarding the actual Constitution, like straight up. But if they do, then we know at that point, it's like time to fucking weapon up. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's time to get the pine box ready for Trump's final adventure. Because believe me, you know, if we go to war, if there was a civil war here, like, we would have the whole world on our side. You know what I'm saying? The only people he'd have on his side is Russia, and we already know their army sucks. Ukraine's been kicking the shit out of them, like kicking them all across the fucking country. You know what I mean? I mean, they've taken a little bit of land in Donbass, but that's it, dude. But I think the whole world would gladly kick the shit out of Donald Trump. Like, I feel like everybody's just waiting for an excuse, really. Right? You know what I mean? I mean, bro. So yeah, I know though, but you saw how Trump zeroed in on that. I mean, that's not a surprise, is it? That he's fucking, 3.5 years from now, if we have a war, Trumpy, where's my neck? Why am I so fucking stupid? Right? There's like a sliver down here, bro. Dude, yeah, he thinks it's so funny. I mean, to be honest with you, he looks like he's being pretty jovial, because you notice that I feel like this right here made it where Trump just had to be the fucking smiley, like, funny guy, right? You know what I'm saying? He did. Trump had to be like a little bit of his goofy ass kissy self, because fucking Zelenskyy made it where he just couldn't be a fucking douche, you know? Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. A lot of the media is in the bag for Trump. But I still think there's a significant portion of the media, especially the independent media, that's doing the work. You know, it's definitely doing the work. There was one other clip that I thought was pretty interesting. Let's go to Rupar and look at some of the clips here. Yeah, Russia is weak. Dude, they are. They're weak. Dude, they've been getting their ass kicked for forever. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Look at this shit, bro. This is hilarious. Oh, fuck. Dude. First off, can I just say that Gavin Newsom's press office thing is killing it? Because I don't know if you guys saw my tweet today, but I tweeted this, right? Because the thing about Gavin Newsom, right? He's doing that thing with the Gavin Newsom press office that is doing those ChatGPT Trump tweets. Now, can I just tell you, okay? Can I just tell you that, like, I don't know if you realize how powerful this is, right? Because what's happening, guys, is Gavin Newsom is doing these ChatGPT tweets that everybody knows are bullshit, but they're totally clowning and mocking Trump. But here's the problem. You ready? Is Donald Trump now has to change his tweeting style, because now that Gavin Newsom goes so overboard with that ridiculous nature that if Trump does what he normally does with the caps and shit, he is going to literally just become Gavin Newsom's tweets. So now Trump is going to have to change his style a little bit. He's going to be forced to either play right into Gavin, or he's going to have to somehow like do it a little different. But it goes beyond just those tweets. Like, look at this. This thing is hilarious. Dude, look at this. Dude, look. New lows unlocked by Gavin Newsom, right? And he said, "Thank you, Nancy Mace." Dude, look at this shit. Oh my God, this is the best, dude. Oh, this is so good. The Gavin Newsom press office. This one with, because that's fucking Scott. That is one with fucking Scott, what's his name? Scott Pressler. Okay, let's look at their replies. But dude, the burn is so fucking brutal, right? Where is it? We're going to find it. I mean, he's ratioing all of their tweets and shit, which they're so into their Twitter ratios. Like, I don't know who's running this press office right now, but they're doing like the hero's work. But right here, dude, yeah, there it is. He retweeted it. You sound woke. But let me find it. Oh my God, dude. Let's find the actual. Oh, I guess we can just, I know what I can do. They added the search bar here. There it is. Okay, so Scott Pressler voted. Look at what Scott Pressler did. He posted this. Republicans are flipping Pennsylvania. This is like voter registration. So I don't know if you guys know who Scott Pressler is, but Scott Pressler is a gay dude who has sold his soul to MAGA, and he's out there registering voters. And that's what he's doing. He is just going anywhere and everywhere and getting whatever registered voters he can to register under Trump. Now, whether those voters show up and vote or not will remain to be seen, or whether those voters show up even if they don't show up and they're just getting registration so they can try to like flip voting machines. I don't know what their deal is, but he has been going crazy about registering voters. That's his thing. He goes around the country trying to just get Republican voter registrations. Okay. But so then what he did was he obviously took a snippet of somewhere in here when Scott Pressler was fucking, right? There it is. There's the shot. And he said, "Thank you, Nancy Mace." Dude, that is so brilliant, because Nancy Mace is like, you know, she's obsessively anti-trans and she looks like a doll. I mean, Nancy Mace, if you, I swear to you, if Nancy Mace wasn't a legislator and was just walking around on the street, there are a lot of people would think she was, you know, trans. She's got some features that, like, you might think she's transgender, right? Every time I see pictures of her, I'm like, I wonder even, you know? I mean, you know, she's like definitely in between the lines, you know? But dude, that's funny. You know, I just think that's so funny that he fucking posted that, right? And now, dude, right? Dude, but fucking, and now you're using your press account to troll a gay conservative and call him a woman. Like, why? I don't even understand this. Why this is a fucking issue here. You know what I mean? Like, calling him a woman women are not bad things, right? Transvestigators, yeah, no, I know, Sasha. Transvestigators can't tell at all. And there's no way to transvestigate. And it's stupid to transvestigate. The only reason why I will allow myself to engage in transvestigation with Nancy Mace is because she's a heinous transphobic bitch. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like her being a heinous transphobic bitch, like allows her to be in that realm of questioning her, right? Not because you can actually discover who's trans at all, but simply because she is such a, like, man, she's such a fucking degenerate that, like, I feel like she opens herself up to that, which is the same with this quip. You know what I mean? Like, you know, confusing him for Nancy Mace is like so good in this. But I mean, it's funny though, because like, one of the things that's really weird about Nancy Mace, right, is how the trans content creators that I know are consistently talking about Nancy Mace, wondering if she is, like, they wonder about Nancy Mace. And no, Shiloh, this isn't Nancy Mace. This is Scott Presler. This is the gay, like, Republican voter registration guy. That's why, right? That's why, oh, you were being sarcastic. Yes. Oh, shit. Oh, that's funny. But, like, the trans content creators that I watch or look at are, and I see on Twitter, often talking about Nancy Mace. Like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, are we sure about her? Oh, shit. That's so funny. But like, Tommy Lauren is saying you're going to use your official press office account to troll a gay conservative and call him a woman. Like, is it bad to call somebody a woman now? You know what I'm saying? Is it bad to call someone a woman? I don't think it is. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a woman, right? There's not. But if you want to see Nancy Mace, right? For those of you who don't know Nancy Mace, right? Here she is. We'll find a good shot of her. Right? There she is. There's Nancy. Oh, shit. There she is. Dude, she's gone crazy. Dude, she has. She really is. I wouldn't be surprised, though, guys, if she wins the governor, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, she definitely wins in name ID, and they haven't really started the campaign, but she is, right now, she is leading. And in the South Carolina, I mean, we're a long way. So the thing is, though, is she has the name recognition, but she hasn't really started the battle. You know? But yeah. Oh, shit, dude. This is funny, bro. Dude, people are fucking taking the piss out of her, dude. Looking Nancy Mace. Oh, my God. Dude, this is just too good, dude. Oh, shit. Dude. Jesus. Oh my God, dude. It's crazy. But yes, no one can fucking, I still love this picture though, dude. This is like my favorite picture right now. Nancy, well, dude, Nancy is either talking about her sex life or mostly she talks about like genitalia and transgender people in bathrooms, right? That's it. That's Nancy Mace's entire shtick, you know? Dude, yeah. It's like, dude, she's so smarmy. She's so smarmy, but isn't this brilliant? Dude, that shit is brilliant. I found another one today that I thought was pretty good. Let me see if I can find it. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, this one was pretty good. The Onion. Trump still polling well with working class American pedophiles. Dude. Yeah, so Canal, I try to avoid transvestigating in general because I think it's like, I think you got to be careful with that shit because that is making a lot of implications. I mean, like I said, I'll do it to Nancy Mace because she's a public anti-trans figure, right? And because I've seen other transgender people that I follow that do it. So I will occasionally do it. But in general, the idea of transvestigation is trying to imply that trans women look like men, or every woman who looks manly or doesn't look like socially feminine is trans. And there's not any truth to that because the transvestigating harms everybody because it sort of like trivializes trans existence and it puts all women who have like a hairy lip or a wide jaw or an Adam's apple under this pressure, you know what I'm saying? That fucking, you know what I mean? That it's, you know, and Natalie's right. We probably shouldn't even be transvestigating fucking Nancy Mace. You know what I'm saying? It's true. It's like, I mean, there's just a lot of, I think it hurts regular women too, which is this idea that if a woman has a hairy lip, that means she's not a woman anymore, right? And dude, I wish we would get rid of gender markers just altogether. I'm serious. I am fucking serious, man. I wish we got rid of all gender markers altogether. No gender markers, period. Oh, what would we do about sports? I don't know. Have fucking testosterone levels, right? Separate sports category by testosterone levels, period. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think there's truth to that, right? That like we probably shouldn't even do that. So I'm going to try to not do it at all, but I will say that I may slip up occasionally with Nancy Mace and do it, and you're welcome to call me out when I do it. But I think we should probably not do it at all. I think Natalie's right. Regular women, yeah. You know what I mean? Regular woman, I don't know. You know, I mean, like what society has always considered a fucking right. Society is labeled cisgendered women. But even then, it's like there's a beauty standard for women. You know what I mean? Like this is like taking trans rights and trans people even out of the equation for a minute, okay? If you look simply at cisgendered women, okay? Cisgendered women, period. There is a like beauty standard on them of like a certain type of femininity that's allowed or not allowed, right? Even certain types of women will get considered. There was a time, dude, when I was younger where in the 90s, when gay rights first started becoming a thing, every woman with short hair was considered a lesbian. And it's like, what the fuck is that, right? That's one of those weird beauty standards. Or like, right? Or every guy who's remotely feminine was considered gay, right? Which is all about this weird, like they have these fucking standards of what is woman, what is guy. And, you know, yeah, it's fucking dumb. And you're right, you know, you're right. Merc, you're right. Transvestigating hurts everyone and does like keep it in Jerry Springer mode. Absolutely. But I'm gonna laugh at Gavin Newsom hitting Scott Presler with that. Oh my God, dude. Oh shit, bro. Dude, but now, dude, they're freaked out about the NFL. They are seriously freaked. But guys, keep me on my toes. All right. I don't mind being called out by that. Right. And Kenny, I'm going to remove that because I don't feel comfortable with that fucking, I don't feel comfortable with that word. Right. that word feels like, it's a little, you know what I'm saying? We're venturing into some territory. Yeah, that we're gonna keep the slurs out of chat. Thank you. Right? We're not going down that route. All right. I encourage you to fucking right. I encourage you to zip. Transgender people is the word for it. Right? Transgender people are people too. Yes. Yes. Right? Oh, shit. Let's go. It's all good. Dude, we're not going to eat your lunch unless you make it a habit. Then you're going to get the big old boot in the digital ass. Right? But yeah, no, I like having these conversations, right? Because I mean, I need a reminder too, man. I'm not, like, you know what I'm saying? We all got constant reminders of like, who we are and what we are. I don't know if you guys saw the video I did today about, I'm going to go out on this last thing. If you saw the video I did today on Jillian Michaels, there's a video up, but she replied, guys, Jillian Michaels, I'm convinced that Jillian is using a chat bot or something to just try to monetize, because look what happened, guys. You saw me reply to Jillian, and you saw the fight we got into, and you saw me go in and fucking, let me find my reply here. You saw me leave multiple tweets, okay, about, hey, are you, like, what's going on? Are you going to reply to my thing asking about 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗀? Okay, let me see if I can find it. Okay, right here. So look at this. So she didn't reply when I said, hey, I'm still waiting on your response to why you're platforming 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗀. What's going on with you? Blah, blah, blah. And then this account replied to me, said, this is the first time I've heard about 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 being considered as a white supremacist. I see his posts on my timeline sometimes, but never knew he was considered a white supremacist. Can you elaborate? I'm genuinely interested. I don't know who this fucking person is, right? But it's like, if you're really that interested, just Google, right? 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, white supremacist. There you go. You would find shit out. Okay, but then Jillian replied to them saying that one is completely new to me as well, but as always, I'm here to listen. And I said, why aren't you responding to me? You didn't answer the question, but you responded to someone who responded to me. But like Jillian responded to me, and I, like, under 5 or 6 different tweet threads, I asked her about 𝗶𝗶𝗍𝗀. Okay, and then I put just briefly some of his ties. And then ultimately, this person like popped off to me, and I blocked them and told them to go fuck themselves. Because I was like, dude, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Nobody was talking to you. Fuck off, Shady Hugs. No offense, but you're not even involved, right? But what's interesting is about this, right? About this shit, right? And you know what I mean? And like, this is interesting. Amy Dangerfield is also a white supremacist. I don't know what that is. But yeah, dude. But so the thing about it is, though, Solam, what I'm saying is I'm saying in addition to her using ChatGPT to type tweets, what I was suggesting is that Jillian Michaels isn't even like reading any of these tweets. What I'm suggesting is I think Jillian Michaels may have hooked up a ChatGPT bot to her Twitter account to read and reply to shit automatically to try and like just juice up her Twitter income by filling her replies with never ending, right? Like, I don't even know if Jillian Michaels is having anything to do with these responses. If there's a chat bot actually pretending to be Jillian Michaels that is like through TweetDeck or something tweeting off her account, I think something really weird is happening, right? Where, you know what I'm saying? because these responses are like, they're like replying in a way that is, you know, like she could have just replied to me saying, what do you mean? What do you mean that fucking, you know, 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗵𝗏 is a white supremacist, right? But she's not. It's replying to a reply to a reply. Like something weird is going on here, right? And I see this a lot where people will get in my replies and they'll have conversations for like a week, but like you can tell one of them is an AI chatbot that's just grabbing a word out and responding, you know? Yeah, something's going on. But I did make a video about this, about the whole fight and the recap of this recent entry today. It's up on the, it's right now, it's on the channel. It is this one, right there. Jillian Michaels fights me online over slavery. Oh shit. Dude, let's go, baby. Dude, the videos have been banging lately, bro. We've definitely had a bump up, right? To where like a lot of videos are doing well. It's significantly better right now than a month and a half ago, right? The last month and a half, and it's like has not, I'm waiting for it to completely die off, but it hasn't died off yet, right? So I'm riding it, dude. We're fucking, but the videos are doing way better, man. I mean, if you go back, the thumbnail change has been big, right? You go back just a month ago and a lot of them were just getting 3,000 views, right? They were a lot smaller, many of them. The thumbnail change was big. How do I know they're bots? All right, so to show you how I know or suspect they're bots, I'll run you through it, JC. So there's a couple telltale signs, okay? The first telltale sign is this, is the M dashes, okay? Now, right, you'll look at some of Jillian's tweets, okay? Look at this tweet, right? First, it's like regular dashes, and you'll see a lot of her tweets have a regular dash, but then all of a sudden you get to a paragraph and there's multiple M dashes. That is ChatGPT puts M dashes in everything. It like overuses them, right? So when you see a lot of M dashes in shit, you know that it's ChatGPT, but then other times there's regular dashes, right? But then, you know, when you get into her shit, you'll start seeing the M dashes. So that's one way. When you see M dashes, there is a strong possibility that it's ChatGPT. But the other thing is like this, right? So my tweet says, we aren't all white people bad camp. We're in our systems were built on slavery. It's affecting people camp instead of let's make sure no white people ever feel bad camp. But then look at her response. Her response says, great question. I have a long answer, right? And then there's a whole bunch of M dash material. Look at them, 3 of them in one paragraph. But guys, I didn't ask a question, right? So her reply was great question. I have a long answer. And then a big M dash diatribe with some weird fucking formatting. But I didn't ask a question. Okay. So when there's a response like that says like, oh, great question, let me give you an answer, but you didn't ask a question, there is a fucking some weirdness going on. There's some kind of weirdness going on, right? You know, and then what'll happen is like they won't reply to you replying to the reply, but then maybe the reply comes in because what it is there are like sometimes where ChatGPT is taking in a tweet and replying to a tweet, taking in the answer, replying to an answer. Like there are AI bots that just reply to tweets as though they're a person. You know what I'm saying? And so like my suspicion wasn't just that Jillian Michael was using ChatGPT. My suspicion was that she was using an automated AI bot to start replying to everybody under her shit to milk it, to just fucking, right? Because the more replies you get, the more money you get, right? That's how it works now on Twitter. So I think she might be using an AI, right? An AI actual like reply bot that she's like logged into TweetDeck, and there's some AI bot that's just replying under that thread to all kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I will say though about ChatGPT, guys, and this is the thing I'm going to end on, I'm going to go make some videos, is it's changing, okay? Like I used free ChatGPT for a while, and then I started, I don't know, 6 months ago, I started paying $20 a month for the unlimited ChatGPT, and I use it to like sort of analyze my thumbnails, and I use it to analyze my titles and brainstorm title options and thumbnail phrase options. I use it as a fucking dude, 𝗙cie, let's go, baby. Thanks for that sticker. Let's go. I use it to analyze and fucking brainstorm, right? But can I just tell you, in the last 2 months, the last 6 weeks, there are new guardrails, okay? There are new guardrails, guys, that anytime I input something about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, I have to massage ChatGPT. There have been new shutdowns where if you talk about Trump and Epstein, like ChatGPT just says, sorry, I can't help you with that. Okay? And there are new, like it's gotten harder and harder. Like I have to then coerce the ChatGPT, like, yeah, no, this is not a guardrail. We're just talking about a YouTube title. Like there are a lot more guardrails. Like AI is being extra careful about like the ChatGPT stuff or about Trump and Epstein. And in fact, YouTube, every time I upload a YouTube video about Trump and Epstein, many times I get the additional checking where it says could be up to 24 hours, and they make it go through a human review before it gets output. So we are getting into some crazy times, right? Oh, dude, we got to dance. We're going out with the dance, right? We're getting into some crazy fucking shit, bro, where I don't know if it's like pre-censorship and TikTok just changed their terms of service. Like some shit is getting weird in the tech world, guy. It is getting a little clampy, right? Hers are taking 8 hours. That's nuts. See, mine have not been taking 8 hours. Mine have been, like 45 minutes to an hour, but they've been going to human review a lot of times before they get approved. And yeah, we love Tabitha. All right, it's dance time, guys. We got to fucking dance. We're getting in fucking edit mode and then dance mode. Let's go, baby. And dude, who is dropping the Kroner tonight, right? The Kroner was Scorpion, right? Scorpion was dropping all the Kroner. Are you Scorpion Kingdom? Yeah, so we danced to a Swedish musician, right? I don't know if you've seen a dance party, but our dance party is to a Swedish musician, a song called A Little Deja Vu by a guy named Stefan Karlin, who's Swedish. So I don't know if you know him, if you heard of him. He's a local musician, but it's a song that's on Epidemic Sound, right? You have not heard him? I think he's kind of small time, which is why we can still dance to his music, because it's on Epidemic Sound. But all right, good. Thanks for the Kroners, baby. Thank you to everybody who donated tonight. Dude, the streams have been going off, guys. We've been going over 400 viewers like almost every night, which is crazy. Like, we're definite growth, man. All right? Definite fucking growth. But here we go. Let's get the dance out. Let's get it. Let's go. My good. We're gonna go out with something fun that love to hear. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, keep it real, baby. It makes you happy. Good. I'm glad it makes you happy. It makes me happy too, dude. Dancing is like, it's just like so good for the soul, man. It really is. It really is. All right, and we're gonna go out with a little Radiant. Oh shit, dude, that was ear blowing. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna have a couple good videos coming out tomorrow, dude. Borrow bad. Thank you, boss. Dude, I felt like, I don't know. I felt like tonight was actually pretty spirited. Dude, that felt like maybe the best dance I've ever done to that song, boss. I don't know. That felt like it was active. All right. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Tomorrow we fucking keep shredding it, baby. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready to get into it? All right. Good night, guys. Love you. Let's go. Let's go. Keep it real, baby. Woo. Good night.
Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder. I just want to change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better